Hi, welcome to the True Mouse Games YouTube channel. My name, of course, is Alex, and I have the honor of, as always, being your Dungeon Master for the evening. Today, we are playing another session of Rovea, the Lost Island, our D&D campaign, which I believe is like the session 22 or something. So we've come quite far, but there's still a few sessions to go to see if the Lost Island will remain lost forever or whether it will actually be liberated or saved or conquered, or however you want to put that in the end. Basically, the last time, or let's go back a bit further. Our heroes have destroyed and defeated the pirates of Bloodcliff, slain their leader and his pet blood mage, and the soul of said pet blood mage is now in a ring that our esteemed wizard is wearing, and he can communicate with him telepathically. Nonetheless, after killing the pirates, our heroes have been faced with an ultimatum, basically. There is this creature calling itself the Lightning Lord that basically seems to think that the island is his, I don't know, realm or something, that he can do as he pleases. And he has told the player characters that they have been meddling too many of his affairs, and he has set them an ultimatum until the next the next new moon, to meet him in an old ruined village. If they do not, he's going to destroy the island, whatever that means. That was 3 days ago. In the meantime, our heroes have faced the challenge of Hesperos, a werewolf that has been sort of playing cat and mouse with them for a while, and they have managed to finally kill him and his right-hand man, the assassin Cain. Sadly, in the course of that fight, Kalyphos, our Tiefling Fighter, has been bitten by, well, the werewolf himself, and he rolled a natural 1 on the saving throw against the curse or virus or whatever you want to call it. And thus, he had a very interesting night with some weird illusions or hallucinations or whatever they were, and a sense of euphoria and interesting dreams. Now, our player characters already know how to get rid of that curse, and they have decided to set out and hopefully find a so-called Shadowbane flower. It is a flower that is sort of magical and only grows on the tallest of the broken peaks, a hill range that is pretty much in the center of Rovea. You can find the map of the island, as always, in the description underneath the video, so you can see what I am talking about. Yeah, so they're trying to find one of those flowers that carry the curse, but can also heal it and brew some sort of herbal concoction, basically, using that flower. And hopefully that will help Kalyphos get rid of his curse, basically. And that is where we left off last time. So we have our heroes leaving behind the village of Owl Lake and setting out with their, I don't know, servant, I suppose, let's call him, or employee Hadley, a former bandit who they spared and then asked to remain in their service for a while. And Hadley has remained behind on the edge of the hills and taking the horses, basically, and keeping care of the horses, while the three of our heroes climb up into the hills, hopefully find one of those Shadowbane flowers, and then make it back without losing too much time, for they really only have 11 days left, even if they count this very day, which is already like nearly half past, or at least there's a few we are a few hours into the morning. It is summer on Rovea. It is a fairly sunny day. There's just a few small clouds here and there, a little bit of wind gushing past, but in general, it is quite warm, kind of like right now in my apartment. In fact, maybe not quite as warm, but warm enough anyway. And that is where we are jumping in. So you are at the moment standing at the edge of the southern part of the Broken Peaks, pretty much a little northwest of Owl Lake, just maybe like an hour and a half or so. You can still see, if you look behind you, you can still see the village in the distance with a bit of smoke curling up there. But it's a couple miles out, basically. The hills in front of you, as you have seen before, are barren, blackened and dead, with hardly anything growing there. A few patches of sort of yellowish black grass, a few thorny bushes. That's pretty much it. The rest is just mud, or, well, dried mud now, and like a few cliffs and rocks and such. And you know, of course, that these hills are overrun with undead, but at the moment, there are none to be seen.
Up we go.
So which direction do you guys want to go?
I mean, kind of northwest, I guess. Kind of, because if
You're going
like,
for the closest of the high peaks that you can see, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that will be northwest, pretty much. Northwest. Sort of.
Casting Mage Armor on myself.
All right.
Just go ahead and
it will take you estimate it will take you, I mean, with the whole up and down in the hills and such, you can't really travel as the crow flies.
Right.
It will probably take you a good 2 hours to get to the side, the edge of that's one peak.
That's fine. I want this on the whole time.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I know Mage Armor lasts like 8 hours, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, I suppose. Any other preparations anyone would like to take before you set out? Okay.
Do you have any sneaky spells that we can
available
to us?
Hang on, let me see if I don't have that today.
No pass without trace.
Because I didn't think to rejigger my spells before the session ended. Yeah, sorry.
Whoops.
All right. So you're trying to? Are you still trying to stealth around? Are you marching, looking like more interested in speed or stealth or vision? What is the way you're entering the hills?
I mean, I'm leaning towards stealthing. But
yeah, stealthing would probably
stealthing makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, stealthing would stretch to 2 hours to about 3 hours probably to get to the side of that hill.
And it's still morning, right?
Yeah, it is about maybe 9:30 or so in the morning or something. So, yeah, you have more than enough time. All right. So roll me stealth checks, everyone, then. What's the marching order? Oh, natural 1. That's cool.
We're so good at this.
At least I was worse for once.
Okay.
You don't have an appropriate, what you call it? Your thingamadice?
Portent?
Yes, those.
Yes,
I do, but I already rolled it.
Okay.
Yeah. Was that a 14 and a 3 for today? The portent?
Yeah, 3 and 14. That's what I have recorded anyway. So.
Yeah, I have it written down as well. So I was just wondering whether that was the same day or maybe from some previous day. Okay. So what's the marching order you said? Anyone
like in the back
or something?
I'll take point.
Okay.
I guess I'll walk behind him then.
Okay. And you're sticking together, or does Cargo wish to like advance a bit further?
I'm not gonna scout ahead in orc form, so no.
Okay.
That's not gonna be very useful.
Fair enough. Okay, so you make your way into the hills, rising up, so following a crevasse for a bit, then rising up further and sort of sneaking from rock to rock, looking around. The hills look empty. You might have expected undead, but there is none to be seen. It's like they were drawn away or scared away or something. There's every now and then you do see footprints, some of them recent-ish, maybe a day or so old, or sometimes hoof prints, as you have seen some of the undead steeds, the riders before that, but none that seem particularly recent. And as you are heading further northwest, after about an hour or so, you have a short break to catch your breath, look around, and Silas is sort of leaning against a rock, sort of breathing a bit, and then he leans onto the rock a bit too much, and you're like, oh shit, and the rock tumbles down, and it's a pretty sizable rock, about the size of nearly the size of a man, and it just goes like slides down the hillside basically for about maybe 50, 60 yards or so before coming to a standstill in a small cloud of smoke.
I look at the others and I just point at Tom on my shoulder.
Yes, surely Weasel can shift boulder.
Honestly,
I'm surprised you could.
I am behind you and looking right at you, remember?
Look, Tom is a very strong weasel. I won't have you besmirch him like this.
Maybe let's move away from the site of the big noise.
Yes. Let's go.
there is quiet. Nothing seems to be. I mean, nothing seems to have been provoked or called upon, as far as you can tell, in the immediate vicinity. Although, as you continue walking, a couple minutes later, you hear what sounds like a sort of distant screech somewhere in the distance, several miles, maybe even off, sort of echoing across the hills.
Scanning the sky.
Recognizable at all?
It's kind of sounded like a bird, vaguely. That's probably the best.
Didn't we see some very large birds last
Yeah,
time
you
we were
saw-
looking?
Yeah, we saw some very large
You
birds.
saw giant, I think at least one giant eagle before in those
Okay.
hills.
Did this sound eagle-like?
I mean, maybe. It's hard to say. None of you is bird expert.
I am gonna pull
I'll
out
have
my
you
bow.
know.
Sorry, you're doing what?
I pull out my bow.
Okay.
The new fancy bow I got.
I'm
That's not. It just looks fancy.
Is that
looking
the
up
one
the sky
from,
scanning.
from the white?
Yeah, I think yeah, that one.
Yeah. So it's you bring it home basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
How many longbows do you have?
3, I think.
3 fucking longbows.
And 2 crossbows now. 2 crossbows.
Mhm. And he's carrying all of them in his one hand.
Yep. It's just that hot fast scene.
Yeah, exactly. Give me perception checks, everyone.
Did you? Oh! I rolled well on a perception check.
22. Okay. While you are progressing, Kalyphos, you're all three is scanning the sky, see if you can see any type of bird or anything. None of you do, however, until Kalyphos spots a movement somewhere to your left. You focus on it, and you can see a couple 100 yards distant. There is some sort of winged creature, sort of sliding past in the air and then coming to rest on a hill to your left, about maybe 100 feet or so, at least, maybe about 150 feet above you, and maybe about 500 or 600 yards away. It will. You didn't actually. What was your perception? Your perception was 22. Yeah, you didn't get a perfect look at it. It definitely looked much larger than the average bird that you have seen, and it was sort of this brownish gray color. It was also flying weirdly. It was like shaky a bit. The flying wasn't smooth, as you would expect from maybe like an eagle creature or something, and it sort of disappears amongst the rocks on that hill.
Do you point it out to us?
Yeah. I have a theory.
Do tell.
Is this where the Storm Lord, Lightning Lord, whatever, which one is correct? I don't remember. Gets the things that comes in the black clouds.
Maybe I don't know. I don't.
That's
No, that we have-
entirely natural to me.
Without getting a good look at it myself, I don't know that I can give you
Don't
anything
you have a
meaningful.
spyglass?
I do.
Yes.
All right. I'll take a look with the spyglass.
Okay. Kalyphos sort of points in the direction where you saw the creature. You take out your spyglass, put it onto your eye, and start scanning in the distance. I'll give you another perception check. $15. There's a lot of rocks in the way.
Rocks, you say?
Yeah, so you're sort of, it takes you about a minute or so to just like letting the spyglass sort of dance over the side of the cliff. And then eventually you do spot something. It's a head that's sort of jutting out amongst the rocks. And you can't see it very well, but there's definitely some sort of large curved beak, like a bird of prey, much larger. At least the head is at least the size of like a human head, at least. But yeah, as I said, you can't really get a good look at the whole body. It seems to be looking in your direction from what you can tell, but it doesn't seem to be making any attempts to engage or attack at the moment anyway.
Okay. Think it's watching us. Maybe.
Can we see any way to, without going too far off of our path, try and just like make sure to pass as far away from it as possible in case that's its perch or something?
Sure,
Or
you
like
can curl around. That would cost you. I mean, you can move east a bit and sort of curl around. That would cost you at least half an hour, though, maybe even a bit more.
or any of this paths like maybe like small ravines where like it would be difficult for them to like swoop down on us. You know, kind of like a little bit of protection.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you could do that. There's like plenty of small ravines and crevices in these hills. It's like they're natural, but there is a lot of them. It's like the earth itself has like broken in places to form these jagged, ravines. So you can follow them. It will slow you down a little bit, but not particularly much. A couple minutes at the most. All right. You continue on your way for another hour to hour and a half or so, always sort of keeping an eye on the sky and also the ground, of course. But there are no signs of undead. The only sign that you do see is a single shattered skeleton that you come across in one of those ravines. Looks like it's fallen in from above, like maybe 20 feet above your heads and just like broken onto the ground. It's still dressed in like this half-rotten leather armor, but it's not moving. The bones are broken, the skull sort of splintered open. And then you do manage to get to the edge of this hill, and you can see there's sort of a goat trail leading up, and then the top is definitely something you'd have to climb. At least the last like 50, 60 feet or so seems mostly cliff.
How far up is like the top of this peak?
From the very bottom, probably like 200 yards, 250 yards.
Okay, so 600.
So like 750 feet, like
okay.
Something like that.
I'll go ahead and cast Locate Objects and focus on the flower.
Okay, what's the range? About 1,000 feet there, right?
1,000 feet, yeah.
Okay, and you have seen the flowers close by, so yeah.
So just here's one of those.
Yeah. Sensing out, closing your eyes for a bit, the magic reaches out, and you do very soon get the feeling that there is a flower up there. Yes, there is definitely some sort of beacon that you sense with your mystical senses. Also, robot.
Okay, I'll be back.
So yeah, you're standing basically in this ravine, waiting for Silas, who has his eyes closed and is focusing, and the hill sort of growing up in front of you, rising up in front of you.
All right. Good news is we chose wisely. There is definitely a flower up there. We just have to go get it.
How's the climb up looking?
It's hard to say from this distance. Doesn't look super difficult. I mean, it's definitely a climb. But it's not like a sheer wall. It's more like a couple rocks here and there, and more of a diagonal stretch.
Should I spider us up? Last time we didn't have such luck with the climbing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
At least I can spider you up.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go giant spider.
Okay.
And
8 legs shift and sort of find purchase on the rocks around you.
Give Silas a ride.
Okay, the spider looks at you with its beady black eyes and gives you a.
I don't look it in the eyes. I just. Yeah.
While they are getting up, I run away. No.
Hold person.
Okay. So what's Kalyphos doing?
Guess I'm just keeping watch down here.
Okay. As the spider is starting to climb, Silas holding on for dear life. And I mean, with spider climb, it is not an issue at all. Like you make progress in your normal movement speed, basically, up the side of the hill, and you save quite a bit of time because you don't have to follow like the goat trail. It sort of goes around the hill. You just go straight up the side. However, as you are climbing, both of you give me actually all three of you, but Kalyphos, you have disadvantage. Give me a perception check. Okay.
It's the second wasted natural 20.
So, was that a 13?
That's only a 5 for me because my thing keeps double clicking.
Oh, right. Okay, 5. Okay, well, despite being down in the ravine, Kalyphos, you watching them, keeping an eye as they're climbing up. You see a shape moving past behind them, a winged shape, and then curling around, and then shooting quietly, shooting straight for them, while Silas is holding on, and the spider senses are like fixated on finding like footholds and stuff. They do not realize this at all. This creature is coming straight for them.
I'm gonna shout, "Look out!" and loose an arrow. That's it.
All right. Well, that we'll be rolling initiative. Basically, as your arrow is flying.
Why?
9. Wow. Okay. All right. So the best of you is Karga with a 13.
Karga with the lowest initiative gets the highest.
What's the spider's dexterity though?
Oh, that's correct. Yeah,
True, it's probably higher than mine. I should bring up the spider since I have to fight as it now.
You might have to, yes.
Let's find the spider.
It's just a giant spider.
Yeah.
Giant. There's a
giant
spider.
Plus
That's
3, so it's actually 17.
Yes.
17. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the creature is first.
Of course it is.
So the first sign of trouble is you hear Kalyphos' shout, "Look out!" and you freeze for a moment, and then you hear a single beat of wings. You both turn slightly over, and you see this large thing stretched out its wings, coming straight for you. And you realize this was maybe once some sort of giant eagle, but whatever it was is long dead. This creature has hardly any feathers left. It's just these leathery wings that are somewhat still keeping it in the air. The whole skin has these black blotches, and there's parts of bone that you can see underneath. The 2 claws are stretched out, and it sort of goes in and straight for Silas with a double claw attack, who's hanging on the spider's back, basically. Your armor class with is 15? No, 14, right?
Wait, hold on. So.
Oh, no, you have the robes. You should have more armor class, shouldn't you?
Yeah, it should be 15. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's mage armor makes it 13 plus the 1 from AC plus 1 from dexterity.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Both claws find purchase, however, as they slash into your flesh. You take 14 points of piercing damage, and the creature grabs a hold of you, starts beating its wings, trying to tear you off Karga's spider form. Give me an athletics check.
The good news is I'm resistant to piercing damage because of my armor.
Oh yeah, that is correct. You have the robes of the blood mage that you have killed.
Yeah.
And
so strength save.
There's a few runes that flash to life, and the claws do not quite manage to pierce them all the way. Nonetheless, it is trying to lift you up. So they give me an that would be a strength save.
Strength save. Okay. Do I use my portent or not?
Don't know.
Because I have a terrible strength.
Decide quickly.
All right, I'll use it. I'll use the 14, which goes down to a 13.
13 is just barely enough. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
To keep hanging on for dear life, like grabbing on hold of the spiders.
I don't want to be in the air with that motherfucker.
The creature's still like hanging on and beating. Sorry, guys. Please.
Whoops.
That's a good time for me to get my tea, so beer me.
Fucking birds, man.
No, see, the word you're looking for here is freaking undead.
All right.
Oh, yes, that too.
Sorry about that. Continuing on, Karga, it is your turn next. The creature is very close to you, still grabbing a hold on Silas, beating its leathery wings, sort of smacking you in the side with them, in fact, trying to lift him off you, but he's holding on just barely.
I would like to make a web attack against the bird.
Certainly, yes. Go for it.
That's a 12.
12 just barely misses, I'm afraid.
Ah.
The web shoots out, but the bird shifts to the side a bit, and the web goes wide.
And I assume that I can't actually move unless I want to leave Silas behind if the bird's still grabbing him.
Pull the bird with you, so I'd say you just like half movement or something like that.
I'll continue up the hill then.
Okay. What's your movement? Is it 30 feet as a giant spider?
Good question. I think so, but...
Okay, so you're like 15 feet. You slowly make your way through the drop, the bird pulling on you and, well, pulling on Silas, who's pulling on you.
Yeah, it's 30, yeah.
Basically. All right. Silas, you're up next.
I'm going to cast Blink.
Of course. So what happens when you blink in the air?
I go into the astral plane.
And then hold there, right? Because the astral plane also has things like gravity and stuff. I'm guessing.
Hold on. Let me think this through.
It's up to you, but decide.
Can I try?
Yeah, are you just gonna like
myself in the
blink
astral
to your slow death down the hill
exactly.
if you do that?
Would it take me longer than 6 seconds to fall?
No.
Shit. Okay.
Well, quite a bit for 6
Could I
feet.
catch?
Probably at least about 50 feet at the moment, or something like that.
That's fine. That's a lot.
Sorry, while you think, it says for web recharge 5, 6. So does that mean roll a d6
Yeah,
and
so
on a
if
5 and a
at the
6?
start of every of your turns, you roll a d6. If you roll a 5 or 6, you can use web again, basically. So, Silas, what's going on?
Did
All
not
right. Well,
recharge.
let's just do a magic missile into this
Okay,
guy's
straight up,
guts.
close range.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. First level?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
That's all right. That's pretty. 12 points.
12 points, okay. It screeches. Ah! But it doesn't seem particularly impressed by this. Anything else, Silas?
I hold on for dear life.
Yep, that is a good choice. Kalyphos, your turn.
Yes, Silas is in the grips of this thing, right?
Yes, indeed.
Does he want to get out of it?
No, you
Get it
can't
off, get it off, dear God, get it off me.
Yeah,
Okay.
You might be hear him scream, yeah. Up there.
Yep. Sure, he wants to get off right now. I get it.
The creature would be about probably 150 feet away from you at the moment, like up.
That's exactly on the disadvantage.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you would have disadvantage on the attacks, basically,
Okay.
on ranged attacks.
Yeah, well, I can't do fuck all else. Does that hit?
12, no, does not hit.
Okay. Another attack? Nope.
And a 9. The arrows fly past this thing. Anything else,
Shit,
Kalyphos?
I only have 8 arrows, fuck. Should have stocked up on arrows.
Would you like to do anything else?
I can't do anything else.
I don't know. Bonus action, anything? Action surge? Okay, no.
What am I going to do that with that?
All right. The bird's still holding
actually,
on.
could I get up higher somehow?
You could climb, sure. I mean, you don't have to roll. It's just like half your speed, basically.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that then.
Mm-hmm. The creature once again tries to pull Silas off of Karga. So Silas, give me another strength saving throw.
Come on.
That is a
Damn
fail.
it.
So the thing rips you off of the giant spider and gaining a little bit of altitude, goes in for a beak attack, holding onto you, like holding you with the claws. With advantage, yeah, hits. And that will be 16 points of slashing damage.
Oh, good. Slashing.
Yes, the beak goes in and sort of starts ripping at you like a blade. Like a dagger, basically. A curved knife. And that's its turn. Karga.
I'm real low on health.
And you're also roboting.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's now out of my reach.
Oh yeah, you can do an attack of opportunity. I forgot about that. Sorry about that.
Oh.
It is moving out of your reach.
Let me just double check that it's a plus. It's +5.
11 misses though. You just go for a mandible attack, but the bird is too fat, quick, and Silas is sort of in the way. Anyway, you.
Yeah, would could I hold on to the wall if I dropped beast shape?
You could, yeah.
Then I'll do that.
You need basically both legs and the one hand to hold on, and you would have one hand free to do other things.
Yeah.
Okay. So the giant spider form shifts back into half orc Karga. The creature is now about 30 feet away from you, sort of lifted up diagonally away from you.
God, I do not have any good, like, let's kill it and not Silas spells on me.
Oh. Avoiding friendly fire is overrated anyway.
Yeah. Silas, did you take damage?
He did.
A lot, in fact.
I'll just do healing word on you then.
What level?
Second.
Okay. Now, technically, you can't do that because you're shifting out of beast form is a bonus action. Healing word is also a bonus action. But
oh shit! I missed that. Sorry.
As a bonus action, so it's fine. You can use healing word as an action, sure.
Thanks.
That should be a general rule anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So what did you say? What level? Level 2 or 1 or
2?
2. So 2d4 plus your wisdom modifier.
10.
Okay.
Okay.
10 health. What? 10.
More than nothing.
Your wisdom modifier is in 6.
Oh, is it plus wisdom? I thought it was plus spell attack. Sorry.
No.
Yeah,
No,
no,
wisdom.
you're right. No,
So
it
it's,
says your
7.
spellcasting ability modifier.
Yes, ability modifier. There's spell attack bonus, which is your ability modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay.
And
So
then there's
7 then, I think.
Yep, 7.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, Silas, you feel a trickle of health returning into you, but you're still in not the greatest position, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And it is your turn.
Okay.
You're considered grappled at the moment, by the way.
So yeah. I call to Karga. This is gonna hurt. Please fix me when I fall. And I cast banishment on the.
Okay, that's is that a charisma saving throw or something like that?
That's a charisma saving throw. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a 3. Fuck that thing.
Yeah, because it's gotta succeed in the charisma saving throw with its minus modifier. Okay,
all right, fine. Yeah, just go ahead and roll it.
Sure. So you roll the 3. The creature rolled the 3, so it just disappears.
Wait, did you naturally roll a 3?
No. You said you go.
Oh, well, all right.
Right. So you reach out, you grab its claw with one hand, and it just is gone. And you're like, whoa, falling down and hitting. I mean, it's like the cliff is like this, right? So you're like,
yeah,
and then just rolling down the cliff.
That's be fun.
Acrobatics check to see if you can at least half decently land without like head first into a rock. Oh, what is that? 20? Yeah,
that's 20. Holy shit! All right.
Excellent. So you take, that would be. So it would have been 22 points of bludgeoning damage. With your acrobatics check, you take 11.
Okay, I'm at 3 hit points.
So you land and sort of roll down and land not far from Kalyphos, just like on the ground, dusty and
I guess I need to do concentration save, huh?
His banishment is concentration, right? Yeah. Okay, so roll me a concentration
check. Please. Okay, good.
It's still there. The banishment is still working.
Okay. I think I'm just laying on the ground, staring up at the sky.
Okay, so what next? I mean, you know that you have about a minute.
Yeah, I tell them we've got a minute before that thing comes back. Ow.
Well, get up on your feet then, and let's get moving.
I just flip him off.
Get up on your feet before I kick you, and let's get moving.
It's not my turn. Go.
Should I come down?
Yes.
Fine.
I'm gonna just start climbing on my own.
Okay, so Kalyphos and Karga, you're sort of meeting halfway, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you give me an athletics check for climbing. This is like a couple turns. We're not going to go over like the next 10 turns, turn by turn.
Wow. Well, it's okay, I guess.
13, yeah, it's not too bad. Like, you hold on. You're not particularly fast. Well, Karga, you do not hold on. You are climbing down, and you're a bit too used to your spider form, and you're like, oh, this is easy. And then you realize, no, you're no longer a spider, and you don't quite have sticky fingers. And you slide down the hill like a certain wizard just like 30 seconds ago or so. And you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage sliding down the hill. And now, Kalyphos, you're up at like about 30 feet above the two of your companions who have slid down to the bottom of this hillside.
Suddenly getting a violent feeling of deja vu, I pull out my amulet of flying.
Ah, yes, you have the chain of
and
wind.
go, all right! Can I carry the wizard?
No. While you're using the amulet of flying, you cannot carry.
You can only carry one person?
Yeah, exactly.
Then I'd still better
Wait, no, it requires attunement, doesn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, while I'm thinking of what to do, I should heal our friend.
Yeah, you have about, say, 2 turns before the creature comes back.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level...
I'm going to get into a position where I could, like, comfortably lean my back against the wall and, like, shoot an arrow.
Yep. Yeah, you can wedge yourself in between, like, 2 rocks.
Yeah.
One side each, and sort of aim at the spot where you know that the creature will be coming back.
Yeah. Sort of ready in action to shoot as soon as it comes in.
Yeah, you can do that. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
18 hit points back.
Oh, was that 4th level?
Yeah, because I have 4th level now, but I didn't prep any 4th level spells. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Might as well.
Yep. Holy shit. A surge of healing goes through you, and you feel much better, Silas.
Yeah. Like, I kind of like pull up and was like, oh.
And Tom comes sort of running up to you, or down, I should say, as he has been holding on to the rock above you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm also going to aim, I guess, with my staff toward where the bird will be. Okay,
you have 1 turn left. So, Kalyphos, you said you're just aiming, basically? Yep. Okay.
I've got a 3rd level magic missile ready for that son of a bitch.
All right.
How far up in the air is the spot where the bird disappeared?
About 50, 60 feet, something like that.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
Okay. So you're all 3 holding and waiting, and then suddenly the bird appears back. And you all release your stuff. So whatever you're going to do, just do it now. Longbow misses.
19 points from the
all right,
missile.
That's something. You can do another shot, Kalyphos, by the way. You have 2 attacks.
Oh, yes.
I don't think extra attack works on reaction.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't, actually.
Yeah, it's because like extra attack is like on your turn.
Extra attack is, when you take... No, it's not a reaction. It's a held action. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, but it uses your reaction to...
Does it? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure it counts as a reaction.
Yeah, so extra attack is like whenever you take the attack action on your turn.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, only 1 arrow then. Yeah.
I'm casting
Flame Sphere.
You're casting what?
Flaming Sphere, so it has to make a save.
Cast Flaming Spear into the air?
Yeah.
In an unoccupied space of your choice, within range.
Sure.
That's all it says.
In that case, it works, yeah.
It's a dex save.
Okay. That is a natural... it's like 9 or something, so it fails.
Fails, so 8 damage.
Okay. Yeah, after the magic missile barrage strikes into it and the flaming sphere also smacks into it, you can hear bones breaking and the creature sort of tumbles a bit in the air, but catches itself. And it's now still its turn. So it will go for Kalyphos, who is the closest enemy at the moment. And it shoots forward to you, and it sort of does like a flyby attack, And you're at first you're wondering what the heck is going on. It doesn't seem to be going straight for you with the claws or anything. But as it flies past, it opens its beak wide and it releases a stream, so a torrent of cold, as it sort of shoots past you, and you feel this cold, like the cold of the grave, striking into you. You see a rime growing on the rocks next to you as this thing hits you. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Good, that's my good one. So I'm gonna roll shit probably. Yep.
Oh, natural one.
This is the second natural one Constitution saving throw in a row.
Well, that's too bad. You take...
Kalyphos obviously has a cold or something. He's just not.
Well, you take 12 points of cold damage.
Okay, well that's... okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, and then it starts shooting back down onto Silas and Karga, but it can't quite get to you. So it just flies past Kalyphos and then sort of goes into a dive, coming towards you straight up from ahead, above. Karga, your turn.
I'm going. If I can, I'm going to use a bonus action to chase the bird with the sphere. It's 30 feet.
Sure. I'll say because it sort of moved past Kalyphos and then down, you can catch up to it. That's another dexterity saving throw, I presume?
Yeah.
Natural one. So that fails.
That's 5 damage. Not very much, but...
It's looking pretty rough now. As the flame sort of lands onto its back, you can smell the horrible stench of rotten, burning meat, basically. What do you want to do with your action?
I don't really want to do anything with my action, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't want to start climbing while the thing is there.
You can do like dodge or something if you want. That's a viable.
Yeah, is that the one where
the enemy gets
dodge if it attacks?
No, it's basically like dodge is basically like a defensive position. So you're like holding your staff and you're getting ready to parry and stuff, which means that whenever the enemy attacks you, it gets disadvantage.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll take the dodge action.
Okay. Silas, you're up next.
Ray of Frost.
Go for it.
Oh, good. Natural one. I'm going to duck behind Karga.
Okay. Kalyphos.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hi. I'm going to shoot some arrows.
Okay.
Nope.
Wow.
Oh!
There we go.
And that's a trip attack, by the way. Trip attack.
Okay, sure. Go for it. Roll damage. 7 plus 5. Is that the total damage? No, it's not. Nope. So that's 20 damage.
9 and 21. 21.
All right, that's enough to destroy it. So
no, wait, 20.
Yeah. What do you want to? How do you want to finish this creature?
So
as it past you, flying sort of straight down.
My intent was to get it to like fall out of the air. So I'm imagining like my arrow hits right where the wing connects to the body and just tears it right off.
All right, one of the wings sort of suddenly you break sort of the shoulder bone of this thing, and one of the wings suddenly goes like into this motion where it's just like flapping behind, and the creature tumbles in the air, smacks into the side of the hill, and just like a small avalanche just slides past Karga and Silas, buried under some.
Can we do like action movie dive out of the way?
Yeah, it just slides past. You can see the rocks as they're sort of smashing into it, just crushing its bones. And it stops moving. It's still twitching a bit under the rocks, but most of its bones are crushed. You can just see the beak like opening and closing, like doing like small snapping sounds. But already this whatever necromantic energy is holding it together is leaking away.
Have we known from before? Like, if I recall, the undead soldiers had undead horses and stuff, but have we seen other undead animals? Like, no,
you have not. This is the first. You have seen a living giant eagle, but you have not seen anything like this before.
Can you figure out what made that? I ask Silas.
Okay. Arcana check, see if I know anything more about that.
Certainly, yeah.
Come on. Okay, 15.
I mean, you can sense necromantic energy streaking off from it and dissipating in the air, but you're not able to ascertain a specific like type of spell, like a specific spell or something that would have created this. It's
There's no way of knowing if it's like just weird ambient magic from the mountains, or if it's like,
or if it was something like
somebody who did it on purpose.
Something cast with intent,
Yeah.
Hard to say. No, you're not really able to establish that. I mean, you have heard stories that the whole mountain range is so saturated with dark magic. So it might have been just like a giant eagle that died and rose back up. But it also could be that something has, or someone has specifically created this thing. You're not sure.
Well, this place sucks. Let's get out of here as fast as we can.
Yes, but first, up.
Up.
Okay. So how do you want to get up?
Well, I am climbing.
Okay. So give me another test, Kalyphos, then, please.
Oh
Can we spider it up again?
Yeah, I'll spider it up again and bring Silas with me.
I am watching the fucking skies this time.
Okay, so you make it up all the way, both Kalyphos and Kargai's spider, who overtakes Kalyphos fairly easily. And you make it up there, and the top of the hill is not particularly wide. It's only about maybe 20 feet or so, the whole thing. And one of the side is like a jagged rock that's nearly like it comes to a point, and the other is a few like dead bushes, a few small rocks, and what looks to be a small stream trickling down. Like not even a proper stream. It's more like I don't even know, like as if someone is pouring out basically like a bottle or something. It's just a little bit of water sort of trickling down the side of the hill.
I'm going to go back to orc form and start having a look around for the flowers.
Okay. Any specific spot you're looking at?
Do we remember like what kind of spot they grew in on the other mountain? Because I would look for something that similar to that. Like if it grew in shade, I'd look where it's shady, etc.
Well, there's not much shade here, unless I mean, there's a few rocks, I suppose. You do recall that there was like a small, like a large puddle, small pond on the top of the other hill that you have seen, where there were two of these flowers growing.
So I'll start around the stream.
Okay. Yeah, it only takes you a few minutes of sort of looking around the stream, and you do spot in the shade of one of the sort of slightly overhanging rocks where this little trickle is pushing past. There is actually a single one of those sort of grayish black flowers with a nasty jagged thorns growing there. It looks nearly like it's growing straight from the rock, like pushing its way through it, like in some sort of crack or something.
Found it.
Right.
I guess I'll try to harvest it. I have a herbalism kit.
Yep. So with a herbalism kit, you can give me a check for the herbalism kit. Obviously being careful of the thorns and all that.
How do I roll a check with the kit?
I bump into her as she's handling the flowers.
So it should be I'd say it's a wisdom in this case, wisdom check with proficient. Are you proficient with the herbalism kit?
I believe so. Otherwise, I don't think I would have bought it. Let me double check.
Oh, it's probably from your background, right? The proficiency with the herbalism kit. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, in that case, you roll a wisdom check and add your proficiency. It's like a wisdom saving throw, basically.
Okay, so okay, that's a shame. Yeah, that actually is worse for me than if it was just nature or survival. But yeah, so D20 plus 3.
Worse than your wisdom. Don't you have proficiency with the wisdom saving throw?
Oh, saves? Do I?
Oh, you should have as a
Oh yeah, I do. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, 17 is 19, I think.
It would be a
20.
+3, so it would be a 10, 20.
Yeah. Yeah. Without any issues, you pull out one of those small, like hooked, like sickles for harvesting, and gently cut it off at the stem and manage to remove some of the thorns as well, and then basically grab it and pull it out.
Shall we take a short rest real quick? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that's what we've been doing while she was doing that.
I'd still like to take a short rest before we
Yeah,
head
well,
out.
it only takes 10 minutes to do the whole thing. So
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, you can do it.
I'm gonna get my 4th level spell slot back and spend a couple hit dice.
Sure. And also relog. The roboting is strong today.
It's all that blinking, man. It's messing with
Yeah.
fluttering in and out of existence.
Yeah, you can finish a short rest. It is, except for the wind, it is very quiet up here. And you can see very far. It's a very clear day. So you can see the stone plains to your left. You can see the dark blotch of green that is Hungirs Forest to your right. You can see both the gliding river and the Grey Run going into opposite directions. You can see sunlight glinting on Owl Lake. And pretty much in all directions that you can see, there is, on the horizon, there is water, as you are on the island, of course. Except if you look straight up sort of northwest, where the Titan is, the large mass, that solitary island, hides the water behind it. That's on the horizon from here. All right. So you have a short rest. You heal up a bit. You regain some health, some spell slots. What next? Karga, you're carrying the plant, the flower for now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we say fuck stealth and just get back as fast as we can?
Fine by me. Does it? Well, maybe we can't tell from up here, but once we get down, I just want to get a feel for if it's still as quiet with the bird gone.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. Roll me just a general perception check. You can find your way down with taking time. You don't need to roll climbing checks. If you take your time, you will find a way down. 21. Yeah, coming down there, just taking a few minutes to take in the scenery. I mean, these hills have always been quiet. There's little life here, but they seem even more quiet than you have experienced them before. There's no movements at all.
We should probably just get out of here. Like, either we're exceptionally lucky or something's about to go down.
Yeah,
I think it's just that life doesn't feel particularly drawn to these hills.
Well, yes, but the previous times we've been here, there's been shit ton of undead everywhere.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like neither life nor undeath are teaming at the moment, and both of those things seem bad.
Like, either somebody's been doing our job, which I'm fine with, or else something's about to happen, and then I'd rather not be here right now.
We did kill a fair few number of them last time we were here.
We killed like
not that many.
A small group of them.
Or so, I think, is what you took out. Yeah.
Let's drop on the ponds. I feel reasonably.
Well, let's be out of here.
Let's run. Not literally run, but.
Okay, so are you moving back the same way you came?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Maybe a little bit more direct now that the bird's gone.
Okay.
At least.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to make your way out of the Broken Peaks without any further incident. It will take you another maybe 2 hours or so to make your way out. So it'll be about maybe 2:30 in the afternoon, or just before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that you make your way out. Then you can see Hadley, who's looking a bit nervous, waiting at the small grove of trees with the horses all like hobbled down and gnawing on, eating some grass. They don't look particularly worried. Hadley does jump up, and you're back. You made it. I wasn't sure how long I should wait.
Well,
these hills, they don't have the best reputation.
No, they don't, and for good reason.
Hadley, how many bad things have we killed that no one else has been able to handle? You need to have more confidence in us.
I mean, I wasn't there for most of them, so...
yeah.
Sure. But yeah, of course, Master Scortha, of course. Forgive me. So
does Hadley know his last name? Did you tell Hadley your last name?
I'm not sure I did.
I'm pretty sure you used it somewhere. A couple times.
Whatever.
I guess check thoughts on Hadley.
He's been running errands for us all around
Sure.
town. You would have
I'm
found
pretty sure you would know your last name. So what are we going? Are we going back to the village? I wouldn't mind some more pie.
Yes.
Pie is the most pressing matter right now. Yes, I agree.
All right, excellent. Well then, let's go. And he jumps up onto a horse immediately. A little better, a bit of a happier demeanor, and
a little more spring to a step.
Riding back to the village, and make it back after about, I don't know, half an hour, 45-minute ride or so.
Is it dusk yet, or is it
No,
still
you still have several hours. Yeah, it's like 4 o'clock or so when you make, or maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock when you make it back to the village. And it's summer, so the sun is up until about 8 o'clock in the evening or so.
As we're riding back, I'll kind of like pull my horse alongside Kalyphos and just ask him, how are you feeling? Like what's going on right now?
Like, I just had a particularly good substance from a particularly irreputable tavern.
Okay. So is this like ale good, or is this like under the table something else good?
The second of those.
Gotcha. All right. And like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think what to ask. Even like, what's
the curse?
Is it like
the curse has him in his grip? If I were you, I would tie him down rather quickly as soon as you get to the village, and then do whatever preparations you need if you want to break it. When night comes, who knows what will happen?
Do we have enough information about the cure to know whether we could reasonably prepare it ourselves, or whether we need to go back to Thornshire to the temple?
You have basic information, not like, I mean, it's not specifically difficult. What you know is that you basically have to grind the petals and then make like a herbal concoction with it. But you don't know the like exact details, but you could wing it. You have enough information for that.
I mean, we had enough information to pass that on to somebody who successfully did it in Thornshire. So.
Yeah. You have received instructions from the centaur shaman, a shamaness, CRS, whatever you want to call her.
We don't necessarily understand the mechanisms, but we know how to do it.
Pretty much.
Okay. So are you, I mean, I'm thinking we're going to do this as soon as we get back. Are you down with that? Like, I mean,
well,
I know the answer is no, but
unless they're intentionally trying to stay out of earshot, I'm listening to this, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're close enough.
I'm keeping out of earshot of Hadley, but not so much Carter.
Yeah, Hadley's a bit ahead anyway. He's like eager to get back to village and his pie.
I will say that I feel more myself right now than I did last night, and I feel that I would feel less myself when it comes nighttime. So
okay. Should we then take precautions come night? Is that
preferably we just make the tea right now, no?
Well, I mean, yes, but I don't know how long this whole process is going to take necessarily.
Right. I will say this though. The chains we have are not going to be enough if I do decide to break out of them.
Well, there is me.
Yes.
So
we can always stay out here overnight.
Like outside the walls?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't break out of the chains. You put me in as more of a courtesy than really anything else.
I roll my eyes so fucking hard. All right, well, we'll figure it out.
So you're going back to the then?
Yeah, let's go into town and like start making the tea or the preparations. And
so you return back to Owl Lake, riding into the village without any problems. You, I'm guessing you're going to the Snoring Eagle Tavern to reclaim your rooms, basically.
Yep.
Mayor Shelley is around, and she gives you a look, and it's like, everything fine?
Yep.
All right. So, do you intend to stay long?
A day at most, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your rooms are also always ready for you. Can I get you anything else?
Some pie for our friend here.
He chuckles a bit. He's rather on the thin side, but if he doesn't
eat like it, I know.
I'll just make sure that we get some stuff that we could use to make the.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, distinctly.
You can talk to Mayor Shelley, and she sets you up with whatever you might need, like a little mortar and like one of those whatever they're called.
More than pestle.
Pestles, yes, and some sort of kettle and similar things. So yeah, you can do that. You have a herbalism kit, so you can use that to chop up and like grind the leaves and like pull them the petal apart. It will take you, the whole preparation will probably take you about maybe 2 hours or so. Not super complex, but you have to put some general care to the whole thing. So who wants to do the preparation, Karga?
Who would be more apt at? I don't know what is.
Well, we have like a nature check, probably, most likely. It's a herbal. It is a herbal concoction after all.
Then probably me.
Yeah.
How's your nature,
I have a
Silas?
+4, but
same.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, with the herbalism kit, you will get that will grant you advantage on this roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's in your hands.
You should give me the herbalism kit because
You
I
should
have
shut the fuck
-1. I have -1 to nature.
Go sit in the corner. Eat your steak.
All right. So roll me a nature check then, please, Karga. For the preparation, 18. Yeah, that's easily good enough. It takes you maybe about an hour and a half to grind the petal, rip the petals off or pluck them off the stem, chop them open, grind them into a paste, and then boil them slowly in some water. And you can smell this very bitter, nearly acidic smell that starts rising from the water, and it turns into this yellowish green with like chunks of gray that are the like bits and pieces of petals that are still there. Like you didn't chop them up so that they're completely invisible, obviously. What do you want to do with the stem and the few thorns that are still on there?
I mean, I'd burn them, but I don't know if that could be dangerous.
I think that's probably the better option out of. I mean, like, what else are we gonna do with them? Like, bury them?
Check them out the window.
Yeah, check them out the window, bury them. I don't like either of those options.
Feed them to the sheep.
Yeah, give them to the sheep. Yeah, I think burning is probably the better option.
Sure. I mean, you can take care of that while Karga is doing the last preparations if you want. It's only like this big. It's not, and with a few thorns, it's not like a massive chunk of wood.
Yeah, I'll toss that into a little fireplace or something.
In the tavern?
Yeah.
Okay. Start in the fireplace.
Tavern full of werewolves.
Sizzles a bit, and there's a whiff of a bit of a stench. For a brief moment, your head starts swimming, but you shake and the feeling goes away. Whatever you reckon, whatever it was, wasn't there in enough quantity to cause any effect. But if you were to burn several flowers, who knows?
No.
Okay, so the tea, the medicine, whatever you want to call it, is ready.
And so far as we understand, that's all we need, right?
Yes.
Okay. How many shackles did you say you have, Kalyphos? 6? Is that? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah. Let me see. Manacles 6. Yes.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna put you behind. We're gonna strap you to the heaviest furniture in our room that we can find.
That's probably the bed.
Yeah. We're gonna use as many of those manacles as we can.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, you can do 1 manacle for each hand, each foot, and then I don't know what you want to do with the other 2.
Well,
I mean, let's just double up.
It's 6 pairs technically.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So
So 12.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, like we're gonna like hand or like wrist to like post. Wrist to post. So let's double up on the arms, I guess. If we can.
Okay. Sure. So Kalyphos is once more chained to the bed.
I almost want to like have Hadley come in and give him the tea. No.
I'll
Yeah.
give him the tea. I have no problem with this.
Okay.
Okay.
Carter walks up.
Wasn't there like some kind where you had to like breathe in the steam or something? I remember this.
I mean, you can always pour it into like some sort of cloth and put it in his face if that's how you want to do it.
I mean, see, this is player error because I didn't write down the instructions several months ago that we were given.
Yeah. Well, your character would at least vaguely remember. There was a part where where you were told that the afflicted has a prolonged exposure, that the chance of it working is higher, and prolonged exposure is best used by like having him breathe in fumes over a longer time, not just like drink it down and done. It can be done either way, but
prolonged exposure to the curse.
No, not to the curse, to the tea, to the medicine.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
No, it's all right.
All right, then we'll give him a friggin' steam bath instead and put a towel over his head and a bucket in front of, a bowl in front of it.
Okay.
Like the world's weirdest cold treatment.
The smell is very unpleasant, especially for you, Kalyphos. As you breathe in, there's like nearly like a knot of pain that starts curling around your chest, inside your chest, like as if a claw has reached into your chest, grabbed the hold of your lungs, and is squeezing them. It's a very unfortunate feeling. In fact, so unfortunate that you will have to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Boy. Well, I'm bad at those, so they should be good. No.
Okay, so as soon as this happens, you feel something hot and vicious rising up in you, like the hair on the back of your neck, if you had them, would stand up, and you guys see Kalyphos starts like straining against the manacles, and a growl rises up from his chest like an animal. He's like throwing himself without even really wanting it. It's an instant reaction, throwing himself against the manacles.
I cast Hold Person on him.
All right, so that's another wisdom saving.
Wait, can he breathe if he has Hold Person?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because otherwise he can't inhale the stuff.
Hold Person has no effect. Kalyphos, give me a strength check, please.
Just straight strength, or?
Yes, straight up strength check.
Okay.
21.
Would I have any reason to believe that casting Moonbeam could fuck up the potion?
It's hard to say. I mean, you don't have any information either way. One of the manacles that was tied to one of his arms snaps, and the other one is not far off. He's like straining with the full of his strength. Luckily, you doubled up on his arms, so they're still holding, but you're not sure how long.
Again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll cast Moonbeam when I have the chance.
Oh, damn it.
And try to like aim for his head or something.
Sit still. Down, boy.
Okay,
Down.
good. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, it's holding the whole person for a bit. Gives Kalyphos enough of a chance to calm down mostly. You still feel very agitated, Kalyphos. It's like a panic attack, sort of. But only you react with aggression against it. But you manage to slowly rear yourself back in and start breathing these obnoxious fumes, these bitter, acidic fumes. It's pretty bad.
Okay, I'm just watching.
Yeah, it takes a while. Slowly the sun sinks below the horizon outside while you're watching. Kalyphos is sort of watching you. You see different emotions chasing each other across his face. There's disgust, there's a pain, there's fear, there's anger. But he's holding it in for now. Every now and then, as the sun has gone down, you can see there's like flashes of yellow in his eyes, as if his eyes are shifting slowly through different stages. Like for a second or two, his eyes appear animal-like, glowing in the sort of soft light of the room. But then eventually that also dissipates, and only to come back a bit later and then disappear back again. Kalyphos, give me it's a Constitution saving throw with advantage to see if you can fight this off. 22.
Hey, finally.
After about 2 or 3 hours of suffering, there's no other way to put it. There is silence as Kalyphos' whole body sort of locks up. You can see his muscles starting to cramp. He's not straining against. It's like he's under the effect of a whole person spell, sort of, in a way. And you can see his veins pulsing under his skin. His teeth are gnashing on one another. And then there is a growl coming somewhere deep from within his chest. And the growl breaks. And his muscles relax. And Kalyphos, you feel all of a sudden extremely tired. Like your whole body is heavy, as if you were just run a marathon, basically. Everything's just hurts and feels weak and heavy. But you once more yourself, from what you can tell.
Can I sleep now? Thank you. Good night.
I'll even change.
All right.
But I say,
Robot.
I'm still gonna suggest that we keep watch, because he wants to be a werewolf. Maybe he's just pretending he's feeling better. What do we know? I'm staying up.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
That's the app I use for wireless thing, and oh, it's off. I should have bothered.
Okay, so you guys want to take watches through the night, watching over Kalyphos as he sleeps?
I will anyway.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I'll agree to that.
Kalyphos sleeps very deeply this night, and nearly without moving at all, like all night. Is nearly like he's in a coma. But then, as morning slowly rises, he does wake up, and you still feel a little sort of groggy, Kalyphos, as if you had some sort of hangover, basically. Your head, there's a little bit of a pulsing headache in the back of your head, of your skull, and your limbs feel a bit weak. You have 1 level of exhaustion at the moment.
That's like a disadvantage on all
Skill checks. Yes.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you are fine.
Right. Disadvantage on ability checks. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Is anyone else awake?
I'm guessing that, let's say, Silas is awake since Karga has been.
Yeah. Tom probably took the mid shift, and then I'll take the late shift.
Okay. Yeah, you both Karga and Silas managed to get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, so it's enough to not feel terribly tired.
Yeah.
Can you take these shackles off me now? They are starting to chafe, and I have an overwhelming desire to punch your face.
Oh, I'm definitely not taking them off now. So I'll start with the legs. If you still feel that way, I won't get to the wrists. We'll talk. And so start unshackling him. Yeah.
All right.
You look like shit.
Thanks, so do you.
Okay. Well, all right. Fair. So you're good now.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't have an overwhelming desire to eat your heart, so probably.
Okay. That's a way to put it. But given the circumstances, yeah.
And I just feel like I went out drinking and blacked out, so I don't know if that's a good sign or not.
I'm gonna say hopefully, yeah. Let's get some breakfast.
All right. It is fairly early in the morning, so there's hardly anyone around. One of the mayor's assistants is running the show at the moment. Hadley, however, is down there. He looks obnoxiously well rested, nearly.
Fuck that guy.
As he has.
I've turned on Hadley.
He's just sitting there nursing a mug of tea or something as you come up and quietly talking to the serving girl, and he gives you a small grin as you come down. Good morning. I'm ready to go whenever you are. But if you want to stay another day or two, I really don't mind. It's quite a nice village, actually. People are very friendly.
Starting to get comfortable, Hadley.
Well, I mean,
it's okay.
Eventually,
it's a nice place. Yeah.
As much as I'd like to stay another day because I feel like absolute shit, we do have a decomposing head in our room.
Right. So, back to Thornshire then?
Yes.
All right. I mean, I've made the journey. So, sure.
Yeah. We're gonna have a nice big breakfast before we go, so we're not gonna leave just yet.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah. Well, once we
an empty stomach is not good anyway.
Yeah. Once we get Karga down here and we're all eating, we'll why don't you go ahead and get the horses prepped.
Yeah, sure.
I'll come down for breakfast as soon as I've woken up.
Yeah, you will be waking up. You would be waking up very soon. I mean, you're used to getting up early with the sun usually, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I will have a soup and some overcooked vegetables.
Sure. some leftovers from last night, basically. Yeah, can do that. There's also a bit of meat pie left over, if anyone wants that.
I'll have the pie.
All right.
Or maybe I'll bicker with Hadley about it. Who gets the pie? Split it and give myself the slightly larger slice.
That's fine. He's fine with that. It looks like he's been fairly well fed the last 2 days or so. I suppose I should get the horses ready then, right?
Yes.
Of course.
We'll be heading out once we're finished. So.
Yep. Of course. He stands up and goes out to the stables to get the horses ready.
So, Thornshire to get the red crew off our backs.
Yes.
And then, what do we do from there?
Well, this thing in Blackmore keeps nagging me. I want to know what it is and if it poses a threat.
Yes. Okay, now I'm having a player moment. I know that last session there was somebody that indicated that the obelisk bullshit and the lightning stormlord bullshit was the same darkness. But I can't remember if Karga knows that or if that was a head conversation with Mr. Ring Mage guy.
No, we found the
think
Lightning Lord at the obelisk, and we told you about it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I just wanted to check that that wasn't a conversation I didn't actually hear. In that case, I would say, if it's true that we're still unclear on the one darkness, it seems like a logical place to go looking for it.
Yes.
That's fair. I guess we can go frog hunting as well while we're there. I don't know.
Also, the
Frog
shipment of
troll.
soldiers.
Same diff.
The shipment of soldiers from the mainland should be arriving any day now. Probably.
Yeah. I guess we'll see once we're in Thorshire.
Yeah.
Dude, what was the time frame on that? I'm trying to remember.
Sorry, what was that?
What was the time frame on that? Because we sent a message back to the mainland.
With the guy who's...
You reckon that an answer would be arriving a couple days after the full moon. So that's about now, probably. It's
Okay.
4 days after the full moon now.
Yeah.
Or the fifth day, technically, after the full moon.
All right. Well,
Okay. Right. So you grab your horses. You say goodbye to Mayor Shaley. And she says, basically, yeah, you're always welcome back. You know that, right?
Yeah. Thank you for your generosity.
Of course. I mean, you did a lot for this island. You killed the Manticore. You took out the pirates. The werewolf is gone, Hesperos. So that's the least we can do. Free food and room.
Yeah. And I'll kind of like lean into her a little bit and be like, also, sorry about the smell in the room. I kind of like nod towards Kalyphos a little bit. Just, I'm real sorry about that.
He gives you a look and looks over to the tiefling and sort of gives a slow, hesitant nod.
Kalyphos hasn't taken a bath yet, and he's probably really sweaty, and his sweat smells like sulfur, so...
Yeah. All right, so the Hadley's waiting with the horses. You jump up and set out for Thornshire. Let's see what the weather is like. Yeah, it's a bit of a cloudy day. Quite nice, actually, for traveling. Not too hot, not too bright, but still fairly warm, this being summer after all. 16 and a 14. Okay. How much speed are you trying to do? Like, as you might recall, if you ride with like normal speed, it will take you the better part of a day to reach the hunting villages, and then probably another 3/4 of a day to Thornshire. That's like normal traveling speed by horse.
Yeah, I think we're trying to make good time to the hunting village.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess, and like rest up there.
Okay, sure. Okay, so you skirt around Hunger's Forest, keeping to the road. There's a few travelers, not many though, as always on this road. A few farmers from our lake and such. Most of them know you, of course, and greet you on the road. You also overtake a small wagon with like several barrels on it, driven by a halfling that seems familiar to you, that you have met before once.
No, not him.
But he just like sort of waves his hat at you as you ride past. He's going up in the direction of Thornshire as well, basically.
Which one was that? Was that Belric?
Yes, his name's Belric.
No.
He's working for Mr. Stoutarm.
Let's give him like one of those.
Okay. Yeah, he just sort of lops his hat off his head, and sort of waves it a bit as you ride past.
Fucking undead.
The headless halfling. Yeah, you make good time, and you will easily reach the hunting villages. Probably have still about 2 hours of daylight left, or maybe even 3 hours of daylight left if you want to push on. But it's up to you.
I think we rest in town or in the village. Yes,
Yeah.
I'll have us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Guyan back?
As you are greeted at the gate and ask this, one of the hunters there, a blonde guy, says, "No, the huntsmaster's not back yet. He's resting in Thornshire. He'll probably be back within the next couple of days, is what we've heard. We've also heard that we have you to thank for his recovery.
Yeah.
We helped.
You brought some sort of cure or something."
Yeah, and the werewolf that did this is dead.
You? So you see, they look at each other. You killed the leader of the of Darkholme,
Yes.
bandits. That's great. Without him, we might finally be able to take them out. What the other guy says, let's wait until the huntsmaster gets home, and then we'll see. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You want to stay the night?
Yes.
That would be great.
Of course, of course. They lead you in, and you get a room as always. One old lady that you have already met. You're like staying in her attic, I suppose, as you might recall. Gives you a nod as you come in. Now, what have you been up to? I've heard a lot of different stories since you were here last.
Well, you know, just a bit of travel.
Yeah, we killed a werewolf, we killed Dragon Shard. Who else have we killed?
Oh, well, she looks at you for a bit and says, "Oh, looks like you're aiming to make yourselves the next Dusk Slayers, or whatever you want to call yourselves, the Dragon Shard Slayers or something."
Well, technically I am Dragon Shard now, so that wouldn't be fitting.
Oh, is that his armor?
I don't know that's quite how that works. But
Can I take a look at that? She comes in a bit closer and starts sort of poking the armor a bit. And that's real dragon scale, like the stories say.
Yeah, I assume so.
Oh, that's really impressive.
It's actually pleather.
It's dragon scale. Dragon scale.
All right. Well, I don't suppose you would be willing to part with one of those scales?
I don't know about that. What do you need?
Well, I thought I'd ask. It's all right.
What do you need it for?
Oh, just as a keepsake.
We might be heading up to the Titan soon anyways. We might find some scales lying around or something. If I do, I'll bring one back.
A Titan?
Yes.
What are you doing up there?
Checking if there's any problem up there.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of stories about monsters and stuff up there. Yeah. That way.
It's one of the few regions we haven't been to yet.
Right.
She's bleeping on my suspicion radar, so I want to roll on an insight.
There was like an old village there once, about 100 or so years ago. I think the stories say that a dragon destroyed it. I think
that's what we heard.
I want to like roll an insight to see if she's like trying to act as something.
Go for it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, she seems interested in your stories. She probably doesn't get out much.
Yeah.
But you don't detect anything suspicious as such. All right, then. Well, you know your way up the stairs. She.
Thank you.
Sort of. Just a moment, actually. You forgot something last time. You were here. She rummages around and takes out a single. God damn it! What's the name?
Caltrop?
Caltrop, yes, thank you. I'd rather not find more of those around. I was lucky I didn't step on it.
Yeah, the person who put that down isn't with us anymore, so...
The half-elf, right?
Yeah.
I remember him. What happened to him?
He, Dragon Shard killed him.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
No victory without cost, eh? Like the Dusk Slayers, they lost 2 of their own as well, I suppose. Oh well. Anyway, you know your way up.
Thank you.
All right, so you make your way up there and take that one room that they have to spare for guests, basically, in the attic.
I guess it's been a bit because we've been busy, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of like go through some of those notes, Zachariah's notes.
Mm-hmm. You have started deciphering them. Yep. Made it very far, if I recall correctly.
I don't think I did. Not terrible. Maybe around a third of the way, if that. I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't think even that much.
It's been probably a couple weeks in game and literal months out of game. So
yeah. I think you only deciphered like one of the chapters, so to speak.
Something like that. I remember something about not the Ashlands, but the Western Timberland.
Yeah, that was the chapter you deciphered, mostly deciphered, basically. That was speaking about the Dryad Queen that was holding.
Yeah, Kiona.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So I'll start working on looking through that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there any while looking through it, taking a few hours, you do realize that most of it's like basically each of the or most of the places on Rovea has like a small chapter with information, supposedly, regarding this. Is there a specific you want to you wouldn't be able to finish more than one chapter at the most, maybe not even that much.
I guess Blackmore, since the group has expressed interest in heading that direction. So.
Okay. Roll me I'd say that would be a intelligence check. But because you already deciphered the cipher, so to speak, so you have like a basic understanding, you will have advantage on this one. Okay.
Just straight intelligence.
Yeah, it's been a while, so you have to roll.
Yeah.
17, yeah, that's good enough. Okay. So it's taking most of the evening and maybe a bit into the night, you managed to decipher the Blackmore chapter, so to speak. What it says about Blackmore is that it is a very brackish swamp overgrown with vines, very rarely visited. There's a lot of salt water within the swamp itself. There's ponds and lakes and such, but there's salt water as the ocean is basically spilling into the moor. The moor has many dangers. There are willow wisps that haunt it at night. There are bullywug tribes, frog people, annoying more than anything, really, that sometimes venture out to steal and sometimes even attack single farms around Wondermere. And the rulers of the swamp, however, are the so-called opal scales. They are a tribe of lizard folk. They are, however, fairly isolationistic, and they have no interest of venturing out. And these notes say that they are ruled by a shaman, a lizard folk shaman by the name of Onersli.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna just go outside and ask some people if they have somewhere I can maybe buy some arrows from them.
Yeah, they will be happy to, without any cost, to give you like 10, 15 arrows or whatever. How many you need. Yeah, that works. Sure. Arrows are fairly cheap. They make them themselves.
Do the notes mention anything about trolls or anything bigger and nastier?
Yes, they do mention. They do mention, in fact, 2 monsters. They mention a few trolls, not many, but there are a few in the swamp. The lizard folk sort of keeps them in check. They hunt them occasionally, by the looks of it. It mentions something about some sort of ritual that the lizard folk has, like a hunting ritual that they have involving trolls. And there is also a mention of a winged beast, a manticore, that makes the swamp his home.
I think we killed that thing. So.
While they're busy, Karga will just be downstairs, like helping out, making dinner or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Does Silas share this information?
Yeah. I'll mention it to or I'll kind of give them the overview.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think with this new fancy sword I have, now would be a perfect time to fight trolls, probably.
Quite possibly true.
Yeah.
The question is, though, if the Manticore was there long enough, or his relative was there long enough to get into a book.
Yep.
And the trolls were there long enough to get into a book. What are the odds that it was a troll who caused him to leave? Or something else that is new enough not to be in the book?
I feel like because based on the notes, I guess it sounds like the trolls and the winged beasts like coexisted for some time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does that interpretation hold water, GM?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if the Owl Lake Manticore was the one from Blackmoor, it would. Something new would have had to have displaced it.
Yeah.
Or something would have changed the balance, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not going to get any information if we don't go there. We could go ask the elves in that forest over there, the Western Timberlands, I suppose. Not elves, fairies.
Dryads.
Dryads.
Yeah.
Dryads are fae, okay?
Yeah. Racist.
Aren't they usually very informative? I feel like maybe it's better to just go find out for ourselves.
Yeah, the time it would take us to get to the
Plus, it would be a few days extra to travel.
Yeah.
Well, probably just a day.
So, I guess get to Thornshire, take a boat to Wandermere, and then head south to Blackmoor. That seems like the most efficient way to.
I also want to nip the political situation with Darkholme in the bud.
You want to keep from starting a small war in the forest?
Yeah.
Maybe we can make sure to talk to Huntsmaster Guy and.
Yeah.
I definitely should want to talk to him. With the Dragonborn fellow as well. I should talk to him.
I get the feeling Huntsmaster Guyan will hold more sway over here.
Yes, but it's good to talk with both, is what I said. Meant.
All right.
I'm on the bed.
Yep.
All right. Do you want to put any traps into the room?
I put the single couch up by the door.
Okay. All right. So you rest for the night without any issues. You awaken very rested, especially you, Kalyphos, in the morning. You slept deeply, again, without any dreams that you can recall, and you feel much better. You feel the best you have probably felt since the fight with the pirates.
Right.
The day outside is bright and sunny and hot already in the morning. The sun is rising and glistening in the sky, burning away any sort of dew or anything that might be on the trees and the grass around the little hunting village. And the people are up early, as always. Small groups of hunters leaving for the forest. No one really paying you too much attention as you come downstairs, basically.
What local delicacies Hadley gorging himself on this morning?
Not too much, actually. He looks a bit unhappy after all the pies and stuff that he has been eating in Owl Lake. He must have developed a bit of a acquired taste, a gourmet taste, supposedly. Here, they've just fed you like a bunch of sausages and some
Owl Lake, the culinary capital of Revea.
Yeah, basically. Oh, there's a lot of halflings there, and you know what they say about halflings.
That is fair. Wait, what did they say about?
Now the DM is being racist.
I said what they say about halflings.
Yes, but you are they. You are everything.
You are they.
No, they are they. I'm me. Okay, so is there anyone you would wish to talk to before you set out?
Don't think so.
I don't think we know anybody's names besides Kyan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, you haven't really talked to anyone for a longer amount of time, especially except for this old woman, and I don't think you have actually known her name yet. No.
I don't think I have. Silas isn't going to ask because at this point he would be embarrassed to ask.
Yeah, it's one of those instances. Okay, so you grab your horses, you set out, and you ride towards Thornshire through this hot and sweltering day. There's hardly any movement in the air. Thankfully, a little bit of a tiny breeze every now and then coming up from the ocean, bringing the sense of salt. As the coast isn't very far, you can see it maybe a couple miles to your right. You'll probably reach it in half an hour or so on horseback easily. Maybe an hour at the most. And eventually, over the course of the afternoon, you skirt around Hungir's forest and ride straight for Thornshire. You can see the Bay of Thorns, the distant light tower far off on the other side of the bay, and the walls of Thornshire rising in front of you. There's people working in the fields, not too many in this heat, though, however. And it will be about maybe 2 o'clock or so in the afternoon when you reach, or maybe let's say 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you reach the gates.
Is there anyone at the gates?
The gates are open. People are coming and going. There's a couple of black cloaks there, but they're not paying you too much mind. One of them just gives you a quick salute. But that's all the greetings that you get, really.
Okay.
Who to first?
Well, I want to relieve myself of this head as soon as possible.
That is correct. It's starting to snow.
I think we should just pass by
the
temple and make sure Guyan doesn't leave before we have time to speak to him.
The tavern is pretty close to the temple anyway, so...
Sorry, what is close?
The tavern is pretty close to the temple anyways, right?
Which tavern?
The Three Coin or...
Oh, the Three Crows, you mean?
Do we even know where that is?
Yes.
We were there.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
That standoff that
you almost had a fight there.
In there, yeah. So the Three Crows is on the south side of town. It's close to a temple, but not the one that you're thinking of. It's very close to the graveyard and the temple of the Veiled Mistress, the temple of the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
There is another temple, a temple of, the temple of Pelor and Mordin, the shared temple. That's more on the sort of western side of town. I mean, Thornshire isn't a massive city. It's not like a metropolis. So you could get anywhere within maybe 5 to 10 minutes at most.
Which is closer?
From the gates that you're entering in, which that would be the sort of southern gate. That would be the Temple of the Raven Queen, or the Three Crows anyway, would be closer.
Okay. Well, should we just go? Wait. We could ask the guards at the gate if Huntmaster Guyan is still here.
I mean, yeah, we can ask. Would they? We can ask, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask. I'll kind of like double back real quick and be like,
Yep.
Pardon.
Yes.
Do you know if Huntmaster Guyan has returned to his village yet? Do you know who I'm talking?
No, I think he's staying with the priests of the sun gods.
Okay, so last you know, he's still there.
Yes.
Okay.
He hasn't passed through here today. I've been here for most of the day.
Okay. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Mm-hmm. Likewise. All right. So where do you want to go?
To the inn first, since it's closer.
Three Crows.
The Three Crows?
Yes.
Okay. So you ride up to the this tavern. Hadley's sort of looking around and says, well, if you don't need me, I'm gonna go back and grab a room, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't mind a few more coins.
Yes.
Sort of running out a bit.
Well, how much? We agreed on like 2 gold a month or something.
Insight check, real quick.
Sure.
I feel like we've given them a fair amount.
Yeah, you
19.
reckon he's probably trying to get a little bit of extra money. I mean, he wouldn't be like super rich or anything. You haven't been.
Yeah.
But he should probably still have a few coins left, enough for a few days.
I'll give him 2 gold.
Okay, he nods. He gives a small smile, and he seems pleased with himself.
I just give him a look, just like I give him like the mom look, like I know you're up to shit.
You know where to find me, right? If you need anything,
I know exactly where to find you, Hadley.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm always at your service, as you know. Do you want me to take the horses? I'll find the stable for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can bring them back to that what was it called? The tavern you were staying in, the Red Lady?
Yeah, that's one.
Yes.
All right. Sure.
Good plan.
So he grabs the horses, gives you a nod, and says, "Well, I'll see you around," and leads the horses away.
I knew it. We're spoiling him.
Yeah, we definitely are. So I'm gonna grab this like cloth that the head is in. Gonna walk into the tavern. Just
okay.
Up to
the tavern
counter.
door is open, and to get a little bit of the, I guess, breeze. It's very hot in Thornshire. People are sweating and mostly hiding the shade. A lot of people are wearing these like wide-brimmed, nearly sombrero-like hats to protect themselves from the shade. And as you're approaching the Three Crows, you see the doors, as I said, open, but there's hardly any sound coming from inside. And as you step in, you see there's only like 4 or 5 figures in the whole tavern. One of them, the innkeeper that you have met before, and sort of tallish, older man named Eric. He gives you a look as you come in, Kalyphos, and his eyes go a bit wide. And he says, you! What are you doing?
Yes, and I just walk up right to the counter and just drop the head on the counter and just say, "There we go, we're done."
What?
Goodbye.
What is this? What is this? He starts rummaging around and like, oh, a head. What the heck? What
you know?
Look, if you don't like heads, why do you ask people to get them for you?
What? I didn't ask for any heads. What are you talking about?
For you know who, okay? We're gonna be out of here now.
Wait, what? Is this... You want me to give this to Lady Red Eyes?
Yes.
Actually, I think
Well,
I think there should be some gold that we get in exchange for this, right? I feel like
There's oh god,
Oh,
we're doing this
now.
again.
Fuck these
We're
people.
going to do
Fuck these
there's
people.
going to be a new contract before we're out of here if we start doing
But I'm
this
not.
thing.
We're not. We're not signing any new contracts. I'm just getting
looking around to the people that are still in the
promised.
they're all sort of avoiding their gaze and like looking down, clearly not interested in whatever. And he sort of pushes the head a bit to the side and says, "You can take that with you. I don't think we'll need it anymore."
Good. Well.
So you don't know yet.
Know what?
He looks around, leans in a bit, and says, fairly quiet voice, and says, "Well, you see, she's dead."
Oh, perfect. Great.
Oh, good.
Who's
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, bit of a surprised look. What? I don't really know. I wasn't there.
What did
But-
you hear then?
I've heard that she gives you a bit of a calculated look. I mean, you know how these things are, right? You
Yeah.
hear one thing, you hear another thing.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you repeat said things.
Well, I mean, I have a business to run, you know? It's not like...
I roll my eyes and put a gold on the counter.
takes it, gives you a nod, and says, "Well, she's been dead for 2 nights. Some of her men found her we don't really know what happened. Not that I know, anyway. I'm not sure who's done her in. Wasn't the guards, that's for sure. They don't know anything, as far as I've heard.
I feel like. Wait, is that it?
Well,
refund.
that's
okay.
all.
Well,
I can tell you. I mean, it wasn't always the most healthy thing sticking your nose into the lady's business.
So who's running her show now?
Well, he looks around a bit, and you can see he's like a bit disturbed by the whole thing, and he beats me, honestly. I think there's one of her right-hand men called Gunther. He's sort of trying to make a grab for it, but I don't know if, like, I'm just keeping my head out low for now.
Right. I'm going to be very annoyed if whoever wins that power struggle ends up coming back to us saying where is the head, and the head is decomposed.
Don't worry, we're not interested in this. Is Kane, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, his problems with the lady were personal.
Okay.
I don't think anyone else really
like this personal thing
ordered too much. So
fantastic.
Well, we don't care. The person who was your liaison with us is dead now, so we don't want anything to do with you anymore. Goodbye.
No, Afel's dead.
Yes.
All right. Looks like people are falling like flies recently, eh?
Yes, and you'll notice I am wearing a certain person's armor, and yes, he's dead also. So
what? He gives you a completely blank look. Like looks at your armor, looks back at you. Obviously not understanding.
Yeah, it's okay.
The Pirates of Bloodcliff. Anyways, goodbye.
Goodbye. Good luck with your underworld power struggle.
As you leave out, you can hear one of the guys sitting off the desk says, "Did I hear that correct? Did he say they killed Dragon Shard?" Just as you're sort of getting out.
Yes, we did. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, then he wasn't talking to you. He was just like asking into the room, basically,
right, yeah.
something out. And you stand back in the sweltering heat of the afternoon sun on the street.
That was better than expected.
Also roboting.
We got some good news.
Guys, we'll have a 3-minute break here, so people can grab some water and stuff and come back. And also Kevin can relog because he's starting to robot. And then we'll continue on from there. All right?
Yep.
See you soon. All right.
Yo.
Are you still roboting, or did you already log?
I relogged.
Okay, good.
I should be fine.
Yep, for the next couple of minutes anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Now, where's that tiefling?
I'm here, but I'm eating.
Okay, wow, what a surprise. That has never happened before. Okay, so you are standing in front of the Three Crows, leaving this sort of underworld tavern behind you, and are debating what to do next. You are one half-rotten head less, or lighter, I should say, in your inventory.
Guy? Let's see. We'll pay Guy a visit.
Okay. So you walk to the temple of Pelor and Moradin, and it is now about maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so there's not much going on at the temple. It's like none of the services, which are usually at sunrise and sundown, is there at the moment. So there's very, very few people around. One of the acolytes in this white golden robes comes up to you and bows and says, yes, what can we do for you?
We wanted to check in on Guyan.
The handsome. Yes. Yes. Oh, you're the ones that sent the medicine, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm pleased. You will be pleased to see that he has fully recovered. Well, mostly recovered. The whole procedure, from what I'm told, was quite difficult for a man his age. But please, follow me. He leads you to the side building of the temple and comes to a room, knocks. Huntsmaster, forgive me. The mercenaries are here to see you. You can hear a voice from inside saying, send him in. He opens the door, and you can see Huntsmaster Guyan sitting on like a sofa with his feet up on a small chair and sipping what looks to be beer from a mug. He looks a little tired, but other than that, perfectly fine. He looks up to you as you come in.
Hello.
Welcome.
It is good
Welcome.
to see you without fur.
Well, yes. It was a scary thing, I have to tell you. But it's over now. It's like a bad dream. It's already faded from my memory. People, the priests, he sort of nods at the acolyte who's standing in the door behind you. He gives a small bow. They've been taking good care of me. And they've told me that you've brought some sort of flower to heal me.
Yes, it was a cure, and I can confirm that it works for myself, so it should have worked for you too.
Wait, are you saying you were cursed as well?
Yes, we fought the werewolf that did this to you, killed him, and he got me too.
He's dead. That's
Yes.
good. Damn beast. He took me by surprise. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been such an easy picking.
Yeah.
He must have climbed the wall in the night or something. He killed 2 of my men too.
Yeah. They're both dead now.
Good. They got what was coming to them.
Yeah. About that, we want to talk to you about something.
Sure. Talk to me about anything.
About Darkholme specifically, actually.
What about it? Do you want to stage an attack? If you are, I might be able to give you a few men.
We don't think that they are threats, and that they shouldn't be a threat anyways.
Well, I mean, if you've taken out their leaders, they're less than a threat. They're less a threat than they were a week ago or so, certainly. But they're still outlaws, murderers, and such.
The brief time we were there, the impression we got was that we were just trying to stay alone, and the only really bad people were Hesperos and his right hand.
Well, we do
they're
not
dead
know
now.
that, but it does.
Your
seem that
mic
their
is fucking up,
population
Emma.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, I'm not wearing it. Is that better?
There we go.
It's much better.
I was making sure I wasn't chewing into it.
Oh, so Karka finally enters the room. Yelling from the hallway.
Look, it's more that we do not know the population there now. We have reason to believe there are a lot of people that are not bad people, that are just runaways, a lot of young people. And we would rather not a big thing start with a lot of people dead before we know the how the situation develops.
Yeah.
We're not saying your men cannot defend themselves.
No. Look, ultimately, I guess it's not our place to tell you what to do with them.
Well, look, I'm thankful for what you've done, but as you say, it's not your home. We've had trouble with them for a long time, decades now, pretty much. But if you think, listen, I'm not happy to go to war. Those outlaws, if they keep to themselves, if they don't enter our parts and attack my men, I'm happy to let them live. If you want
all we ask is you impart this attitude to the younger, less patient of your village.
I also think an official border may need to be drawn, because otherwise you're just gonna keep claiming. You both are just gonna keep claiming it's your area, and
it's a bit of a tricky thing drawing a border in a forest with all kinds of creepers and monsters running around. Yeah. It's not like we can draw a line on the ground, especially because the animals are wandering and we need to follow them.
Oh, but some diplomatic solution needs to be.
Well,
because I don't think they want to harm you. Look, they just want to be left alone, and so do you.
Yeah, this is Kalyphos. I think this is for Guy and.
What I can promise you is that we will not attack them unprovoked for the next couple of weeks or so, and we'll see what will happen. Then, if they keep to themselves, they're peaceful, we'll see what we can do. But members of their tribe or group, whatever you call them, have killed my men.
And surely your men have also killed theirs.
Well, yes, of course, in self-defense.
Of course.
We have killed a few of them. And their leader attacked me after all. Anyway.
I do not know many men, maybe one or two, that would not listen to a werewolf telling them what to do.
Give me a persuasion check.
As
he locks eyes.
I have to.
No, you don't have
to. Persuasion? Okay.
Natural one. Okay, so he locks eyes with you quietly for maybe 10, 15 seconds, and then he says, well, listen, if you think it is best for you to take care of it, then I'm happy to wait for a bit. But these people are outlaws. They are criminals, and in the end, their evil will come to the forefront. I'm not going to wait until they attack my men and kill them. But, as I said, if you think you can deal with them, I'll let you do it. I'll give you a few weeks.
It is a shame to hear, then, that you're not as wise as I had previously believed.
Well, Corrigan, let's not.
I'm going to leave.
No, I'm just pushing you out of the room now.
my place on Earth is not.
You're pushing me out of the room. I'm gonna smack you, and I'm gonna hit you with my staff, and then leave. Don't touch me, you idiot. You're the one who wanted to be a werewolf 2 days ago. Don't lecture me about propriety. And I leave.
Well, as Karga leaves the room, the Huntsmaster waits for a bit and says, her blood comes true eventually, doesn't it?
She means well, and she's right, but I think she's a little...
She doesn't have patience for the...
Well...
What are the words I'm looking for?
As I've told you, we'll give it a few weeks. We'll see how the whole situation develops. if you want to come visit and have some sort of, I don't know, diplomatic endeavor with these criminals, that's up to you. We won't stop you. But that's all I can promise.
Right.
That's more than we can ask.
Yeah.
Very well then. Well, I'll be going back tomorrow probably. One more good night's sleep and I should be able to travel swiftly enough. Thank you again for your help. Although there's a small voice in me that says that without you, the whole thing wouldn't quite have happened to me, but he sort of shrugs. I'm sure it's just a unfortunate circumstance, right?
Yeah. It's over now. Let's leave it at that.
That's the main thing.
All right.
Okay.
Get some rest, guy. And,
Yeah.
I will.
let me see.
Robots.
Ah, good. Already.
Yes, it's like every 15 minutes, basically, or something like
Pretty
that.
much.
All right.
Okay.
You step out out of the temple once more.
No.
Oh, no?
I want to find the priest guy.
Which?
The old guy. The old
head
guy.
priest, Ignatius?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You ask for him, and you are told that he is sleeping at the moment.
Right. Could you
He will-
just give this armor back to him? I have no need of it any further.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course. We will make sure. Is there any message you want to have passed along?
No, just that it's served me well and I'm thankful.
All right. Of course. Of course. Father Ignatius is usually not available at around this time. He's more awake in sort of the early hours of the evening and around noon, if you wish to speak to him. All right.
I guess while we're waiting for him, I guess I'm waiting outside with Karga.
Yep.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
I mean, people professing to be good men being bloodthirsty idiots? Yes, very frustrating.
Bad blood takes a long time to cool.
Yes, that's usually why you have leaders who should be encouraged to be the voice of reason to their people. But since this one doesn't want to do that, perhaps we should go speak to our lizard dragonborn friend and see what he thinks about a civil war in Hunger's Forest. Mind you, perhaps he's also unreasonable enough to think the entire village is full of murderers, because surely an island this small would have that many murderers.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't think he's going to be much more reasonable than Gaia.
No, it's not really, I mean, not really his jurisdiction what happens outside the city.
Maybe we just don't bother telling him. Like, maybe we tell him Hesperos is
We
dealt
should
with.
tell him what's happened, but...
That's damn frustrating.
You know, the funny thing is, I understand why the thieves and murderers won't speak to us. We did slaughter several of their young ones in cold blood. I have less sympathy for the good guys and their lack of interest in communication in this instance.
Well, I mean, some of their young ones were killed by the bandits of Darkholme.
Yes.
It's hard to forgive. And
by the same logic, they should never be.
I would love to come in and swoop in and fix it, but I don't know.
No, we can't. If their leaders are set on slaughter, they'll have slaughter. Unless we want to kill Gaian, which I'm not particularly inclined to do.
You know,
I think we should just go to the damn moors and hope that somebody sees sense before we, die.
At least with monsters and evil lightning lords, there's at least there's a little more clarity.
Kalyphos steps out of the temple behind you.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Well, we were just discussing whether it's worth trying to ask Vorax to intercede, or whether we should just give him a report and be on our way. He doesn't usually meddle in affairs outside of Thornshire.
No, but I think you should be at least aware of what's going on.
Let's go then.
All right. So you're going for the barracks?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you find your way in through the inner wall into the main quarter, high town, and find your way to the barracks. And you're easily let in without any issues, as you are very, very well known here. And a few minutes later, you stand in front of the white-scaled, toothed and fanged visage of Vorax, the captain of the Black Cloaks and dragonborn warrior. He gives you a look. Welcome. You have been gone for a bit.
Yes, we have been busy.
What news is there?
Dragonshard is dead. So is
his mage.
And all of his men. Closest men, at least.
Well, yeah, okay.
You killed
the werewolf.
The four of...
We had help.
We've been busy.
Wait, one thing after the other.
So first, we went to the obelisk, rescued the people.
Oh, did the people come here? No, they stayed in Thornshire, right?
Yeah, they're for now they're still resting in our lake.
Yeah. Right. We rescued the people from the northern fishing villages that were taken.
That is excellent news. I was quite worried about their fate.
In the process, killed Dragonshard, killed Jashun.
His eyes fixate on Kalyphos and says, "Is this Dragonshard's armor I spot?"
Yes.
It is impressive. It stands up and comes over and runs like a clawed hand over the shoulder and just like the arm guard.
Bad touch.
It's a bit of a weird gesture, like nearly slightly reverent in a way.
Oh, is this like walking up? Is this like wearing like human leather or something?
You're not quite sure. It's a weird, anyway, you see a weird sort of expression that you can't quite read in the eyes of Vorax, the Dragonborn. He says, "Yes, I recognize this. It is dragon scales."
Yeah.
We also killed Damaris, the mage that was working with Dragonshard.
Technically, you did not. The voice from inside your head says.
Technically, we did. Shut up. Along with, I believe, most or all of his chief lieutenants.
Yes.
I can't speak to.
Excellent news. With that, the power of the pirates should be heavily diminished in these waters. We have one of their ships, and if their leaders are dead, even the mighty Crimson will not be eager to set sail for other plunder. Not anytime soon.
I think they also might be a little scared of me.
It's been 4 days.
Yeah, it's been 4 days since the right.
This is the 6th day after the full moon.
Okay. Yeah, has our half-orc compatriots come here yet?
You speak of the lieutenant who was captured?
Yes.
Not that I know. We still have his companion in custody.
Yeah.
She is behaving fairly well.
Yeah. He said he would meet us on the little outcropping outside of Thornshire by the ocean.
Yeah, he said the eastern beaches, basically.
Yeah.
Well, my men do not usually patrol the eastern beaches. I would not know. However, now that you speak of it, there was a man here asking for you several times, in fact. A half-elf. Said he came from, I believe, Wondermere.
Do we even know him? Wasn't there a half-elf that was tending to the seer woman?
No, there was well, yes, but that was in actually there was a young half-elf. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Did he ever leave his name?
No, he did. He might have. I am not certain. He did not speak to me directly.
Right.
He said he had some sort of urgent business with you. I believe he came with the mayor's ship about 4 or 5 days ago.
Did he ever say if he were staying anywhere?
I presume he would be staying, since he was here at least 2, maybe 3 times.
Right. Well, maybe we'll find him at the inn. Oh yes, and Hesperos and Kane are dead.
Yes. You said something like this.
Yeah.
That is good. Kane, this man was a murderer. He deserved everything that was coming to him. And the werewolf, I don't think we need to talk about this much. He was a danger to the island.
Yeah, no more werewolf, no more other werewolves, nothing like that whatsoever.
Well
anymore.
done. You have certainly helped Rovea quite a bit. I will see that you are rewarded in one way or the other. The mayor, he does not like you much, but he does not like me much either.
So
I will make sure that you...
The big payout should piss him off quite a bit then.
Well...
I get the feeling he only likes people who fill his pockets with money.
Yes, that would probably be a decent summary, I believe.
The Huntsmaster will return soon to his village.
So I have heard.
We have some concern there will be blood spilt, that they will want revenge now that Darkholme is weaker, or Darkholme will be desperate now that they do not have a leader. We do not have the time, really, or even the skill set to deal with this problem. Unfortunately, we have urgent matters that call us to the south of the island. But we thought you should know this.
Yes, I have heard of this Darkholme, but I know little of it other than that their leaders were criminals and deserved what they received.
We have reason to suspect. If you ask the hunters, they say they are all criminals, all murderers. We do not, strictly speaking, think that this is true. Other than the unlikeliness of that being that many murderers, there are many reasons why people run away and hide.
Yes, that is true. I would know.
Do you know Gaian well, though?
I have fought at his side. That was a long time ago.
I apologize if this is out of turn, but...
Speak your mind. I value directness.
Would you be willing to maybe talk to him and see if you can cool his head at all? When we left him, it was in...
Yes.
No.
I can try.
It'd be appreciated.
My men are not equipped for dealing with trouble in the forests, I'm afraid. And I myself cannot leave Thornshire for who knows how long without in some sort of emergency. But I will talk to the huntsmaster. The forest should be large enough. Neither Darkholme nor the hunting villages have that many people.
Yeah.
Thank you. It seems a shame, place like this, so many things trying to kill everything. It seems a shame if the regular people, or honestly, even the petty criminals, turn to the hobby as well.
Well, this world is and always was like this. There is danger everywhere. Life is danger, and death waits at the end for all of us.
Sure, I'd rather it wait a little longer, if I'm being honest.
Yes,
I mean,
I sympathize. I will do what I can, but I cannot give you any promises.
Of course.
Yeah. We told the half-orc fellow, who I forget the name of, that we would wait a week before, before releasing his wife. That would be tomorrow.
If you think she should be released, I can release her. If you think they have done what was necessary, they upheld their part of the bargain.
They have.
Then she will be released first thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah. We'll see if we can find him.
Do you wish to speak with her?
Sure.
Do you?
You know where to find her.
Yeah.
Very well. Is there anything else?
Don't think so.
No.
Are you
Has there been anything that we should know about?
Except for that half-elf that was looking for you, I don't believe so.
Oh
He
yeah.
didn't leave his name?
I am not certain.
Okay.
I would have to ask around.
I don't know how much you know about the underbelly of the city.
The Red Crew.
Sorry? The Red Crew, yes.
Yes, well, we had
heard some
in the past.
We heard some. There are some uprootings in the Red Crew currently.
What did you mean?
Their leader is dead, apparently.
The woman they called Lady?
Yes.
Interesting. This is the first thing I hear of it. Did you kill her?
We did not, unfortunately, though I would very much have liked to.
Well, one less parasite in this city.
Yeah, I'm afraid those power vacuums are quickly filled.
Maybe now.
Maybe we don't really know
down.
for sure.
But if you want to act, now is probably the time to do
so. Yes. When the snake has lost its head, the body can die quickly if it does not regrow a new one. I thank you for this information. You are quite certain of it?
I would criticize his knowledge of biology, but this is a fantasy world, so...
We did not confirm her death of our own. We simply heard it. I will say that.
Well, we will see what we can find.
Yeah.
Do we want to go talk to Agon's wife, or what do we need to talk to her about? I don't know.
I mean, I'm just gonna go down and tell her, hey, your husband didn't die. He'll meet you on the beach.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think that's too much to ask.
I'll meet you up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can go down on her own.
I'll go down.
Okay, pardon. So you find Sunath, the half-orc woman with her sort of long dreadlock hair falling back over her shoulders, sitting in a small cell. It's a fairly decent room, though. It's like, it doesn't look like a prison cell as such. There is actually like a small bed inside, a desk and 2 chairs. And yeah, she's sitting there on the floor, actually leaning against the wall and just staring away into nothing as you sort of look in through the cell without really recognizing you or even realizing that someone's looking at her at the moment. The cell is mostly dark. This is obviously the basement, so there's no light coming in, no sunlight. Just a little bit of light coming from a lantern that's hanging further down the corridor. But you can obviously see fine, and so would she.
Your mate still lives.
She looks up, stands up, comes up to the bars, looks at you.
He fought very well with us. Dragon Shard is dead, and his pet, magic user. Agon has gone back to Bloodcliff to try and tell those remaining there to chill. He's supposed to return here to the beaches tomorrow, perhaps. Guards will let you go in the morning.
She looks around and then sort of shrugs and points at herself and then at the bars and shrugs again.
I'll just like reach in for a handshake.
Okay, she looks down, looks up to you and shakes it. And then she turns, wild shapes, and turns into a tiny mouse. Runs out through the bars and runs back in and grows back up into a half-orc.
Of course, but you know. Once you've left, I should probably tell them about that, in case they ever have another druid in here. Karga just laughs and then heads back up.
Okay.
So, do we rest here tonight and head out in the morning? Actually, we should find out when there's a ship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can go do that. I think I'm gonna go to the shore and see if he's already there. Don't wanna keep him waiting longer than necessary.
See if he has Zachariah with him.
Yeah.
We'll head down to the harbor, I guess, and ask around for when the next ship for Wandermere is.
Okay. You will hear that the next ship is probably due in about 2 or 3 days. It's expected maybe about tomorrow or the day after, and then we'll leave a day later than that, basically. The ship of Mayor Bonaire, the Sea Maiden, was here until about 2 days ago or so, but left fairly recently.
So would it be worth waiting for the ship, or would it be faster to just ride there?
It's hard to say. I mean, the ship takes about a day, basically, from Thornshire to Wandermere.
Okay.
On foot, it would be probably about maybe 3-ish, depending. If you hurry, you could make it in 3, probably.
On foot or on horseback?
On horseback, sorry.
Yeah.
On foot, it would probably be like 5 days.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, if at that point, we may as well just go by horse.
Yeah, we can wait and see if Agon has Zachariah.
Yeah, I do want to stay at night.
Thinking the boat would give us a few extra days in town if there's anything needs doing.
Kevin, you're roboting again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kalyphos, you go out onto the beaches by yourself. It's now maybe about 6 o'clock in the evening.
I probably fetched my horse actually before.
Okay, sure. Yeah, riding out onto the beach, you follow the coastline for maybe about half an hour or so, and then you see in front of you, sort of just a little up from the beach, there's like a hillside in a group of trees. You see a small campfire burning, And as you approach, you spot two figures and also what looks to be like a large wooden rowing boat, like pulled out onto the beach on the side. And as you approach, you recognize one of the figures at least, is obviously your old friend, if you want to call him that, Agon, the half-orc. He has a eye patch now that covers the gaping hole where his eye exploded as the blood magic of Damaris hit him. But his axe is still at his side, and he looks fairly rested, what you could tell. And he sort of stands up as he sees a rider approaching and then relaxes a bit as he recognizes you. You can see there's a second figure there leaning against a tree. What looks to be an older man with like a scraggy grayish beard, dressed in, well, not dressed really, but more like wrapped in, despite the heat, in like a blanket.
Right. This must be Sakurai then.
Possibly.
Well, I'm writing then.
So you ride up, Agon nods, and he says, "As I've promised,
yes,
this is the wizard that was taken. As you can see, he's alive."
Yep. Well, if you want to come with us to the town, they'll release your wife now, or they'll release her in the morning and she'll come to you.
How about you tell them to release Sunat now, and she will find her way to me?
Yeah. If you come to the town, we can get a ship for you to get to the mainland. Just remember, you are exiled from this island.
Yes. Yeah, I did not forget. Don't worry. All right. I will come in tomorrow morning then.
Yes.
We have enough money to pay our own way.
Okay. Well, see you at the gates tomorrow morning then.
Yes. However, release Sunath as soon as you can.
Yeah. They've told her she's free to go tomorrow morning, and honestly, I don't think they would be able to stop her, even if she wanted to get out.
It is her honor and our word that is stopping her.
Yeah.
Not bars.
Yeah. Well, does Sakurai want to hop onto this horse and follow me to the village?
Ask him yourself. He hasn't been speaking much.
Mr. Sakurai?
The old man looks up. One sort of slightly shaky hand comes to the forefront. You can see the hand itself is bandaged, but there's something wrong with the fingers. It's like they're twisted, out of shape.
Tortured.
He looks at you. Yes, that is my name.
I have come to take you to the village.
What village?
Thornshire.
That is no village.
Well, town, whatever. It's a village to me. I'm from the mainland, you see.
You are... There are not many of your kind on this island. Am I to understand you are one of those who... Well, meet them, release me?
Yes, that would be me.
Right. I'm not a big friend of horses, but...
You are free to walk if you wish to.
I don't think I have the strength to walk all the way town.
Yeah.
But I suppose I will have to.
Yeah, we have a notebook of yours if you'd like it back.
A notebook?
Of some...
Yeah, don't just go offer my shit back to him.
That's not yours.
It's been mine for like 3 weeks.
We went to your tower to come looking for you and found out you were captured by the pirates, and found a notebook, and I think it's yours, so would you like it back?
Well, certainly, yes. You found it. Well, they did not then. That's good. I was wondering whether they were preparing to slit my throat as soon as they found it. And this man, he says, Demaris is dead, and Dragonshot as well.
Sorry, what?
And Dragonshot as well. I see you're wearing his armor, so...
Yes, he's dead too.
They deserved it. That's for certain. Well then, I take me back to town, I suppose.
Yeah.
He pushes himself up and stumbles forward. Agon sort of pushes him a bit with one arm, leads him up, and he very awkwardly sort of climbs the saddle behind you, basically holding on to you with one hand.
Is there anywhere particular you would like to go? The temple, maybe?
Well, I would like a decent bed, if possible.
I can get a bed at an inn for you.
That would be good enough. I wouldn't mind listening to people. Maybe drink some wine, forgets everything for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ride back in the afternoon heat and return. Agon just calls out, "Don't forget, release sooner," as you ride away. Yeah. And yeah, you return back to town.
To the inn we were supposed to be staying at.
Which one? The Red Lady?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Karga and Silas also made their way there by now?
Yeah, given that the ships were kind of a wash, probably staying out waiting for Kalyphos.
As you step in and you sort of talk about getting a room, one of the serving maids comes up to you and says, "Forgive me, sir. You are the mercenaries that were working for the Baron of Blackport? Is that?"
Is this talking to me or Kalyphos?
Yeah, she's talking to you, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as Karga and Silas come in, basically.
We were, yes. Who may be asking?
There was a gentleman here looking for you. He was here for the last couple of days, always around sundown, always asking for you. He said that he has some urgent business with you, and he suggested that you wait for him here around sundown when you return back to Thornshire. It was a half-elven gentleman from Wondermere.
Did you give a name?
I believe so. He said his name was Erlathan.
I don't think that rings a bell.
Yeah, you would know that name. He's weirdly enough, that's the innkeeper of the Dancing Fiddler.
Okay, yes. Okay, I do have
one of the the largest inn in Wondermere, basically, or the one real proper inn in Wondermere. You talked to him a couple times. I mean, nothing.
Oh yeah, we had that planned, didn't we?
Wait, hold on. What was the plan with him?
No, not with him, but with Mayor.
No, you talked with Zelan Bonaire, the mayor of Wondermere, about starting some sort of operation against the pirates, basically.
Yeah, and then
he'll be back soon after like seeing if you can get some soldiers from Thornshire, and then never got back to him. So
yeah, well, he wasn't entirely committed. It seemed like anyway. So, okay, all right. So, okay.
I'm guessing that gentleman will be arriving within the hour or so. He was always here last days.
Yeah, I'll be in the common room. So if he comes in, just point him towards me.
Yes, of course. All right, so you sit down. You have like an early dinner, basically, and eventually Kalyphos shows up with this old man who's moving very slowly and carefully, as if every single movement might send jolts of pain through his body. And he's basically draped in a blanket. That's kind of weird. I mean, imagine someone walking through the city like with a blanket around his shoulders, and people are like looking, but no one's really asking anything. you lead him in, and he, as you come into the Red Lady, he looks around and says, "Yes, I was here before. It's a good house. If you can, I'm afraid I don't have any money.
I do.
I will pay you back eventually."
Maybe you can pay me back in health potions. Those are in short supply around here.
Well, yes, I certainly can create them once I return to my laboratory.
Yes.
In due time. Not a concern right now. So.
Who are you?
I'm sort of sitting him down by a table and
Okay.
the counter.
I'll reach your hand across the table. Silas Mandelston.
Looks at you and then raises his hands, and you can see they're both like heavily bandaged and slightly out of shape, the fingers, and says, "Forgive me for not shaking.
My apologies. I'm sorry. I did not
I
realize.
suffered some bad hospitality recently."
So it seems. I'm
He
very
is
sorry.
lucky to be alive, the old fool. He should have given us what we asked for.
I'm just kind of like pushing through, ignoring it for now.
So I'm to understand that I have you to thank for my release. Yes, you, and he looks over at Karga, and you as well.
Yes, it was. Well, it was a bit of an endeavor, but everything worked out in the end, mostly.
You have killed my captors, so I'm in your debt twice over. I've heard that you have something belonging to me, some of my notes.
I'm sorry. Oh yes, those. I have them upstairs. I'll bring that back down to you in a bit. Yeah. I just shoot like a fucking look at Kalyphos.
I do not need them immediately. If you think they are of use to you, I'm happy for you to keep them for now. I have been working on them for quite a few years now.
It's a fascinating code, but cipher. It's of your own design.
Yes, indeed it is. I have been spending some time. The light tower is lonely in some ways, but it also allows the mind to focus on tasks that most people would be unfamiliar and incapable of.
I would love to. When we were there, we didn't get a chance to do a proper look through. You know.
I see you are wearing the robe of the Maharis.
Yes. A trophy, if you will.
It does not raise pleasant memories, but I hope it serves you well.
So far it's been helpful. Kind of maybe like, I guess I don't know, have a cloak so much, but you know, maybe kind of like pat it down a little bit and shrink a little.
As I said, I'm in your debt, so if there is anything I can do to help you, your friend the Tiefling was inquiring after health potions. I am happy to make you as many as I can, but I am afraid
we should probably see about getting you some help with that. I wonder if Ignatios maybe could help you with that. I don't know. I'm not sure the extent of his capabilities.
I'm not certain. I don't think he had showed much interest in alchemy so far.
Oh, I meant with the...
I believe younger hands would be better used. Ideally, some type of herbalist or such. If I recall correctly, there was a woman here in the town, was quite skilled. She did not have the knowledge to make them herself, but she was... Well, I was selling her most of my products.
I believe Karga knows her a little bit.
Do you?
I do not know her exactly, but I have visited and purchased from her.
Yes, well, if you, I will be happy to instruct someone skilled enough and someone who has two functioning hands. and oversee a preparation of health potions. I have quite a few basic ingredients in my laboratory. That would, of course, mean that we have to go back. Well, I would have to go back to the light tower.
I think for now we can let you rest. There's no great rush on that.
Yes, a few days would certainly be helpful to mend it.
Speaking of that, I'll just inform Kalyphos about the boat situation.
What is the boat situation?
That we'll either have to wait a couple days to get a boat, or we can leave and get there over land in about the same amount of time that it would take us to wait and then sail.
Well, I vote for staying a couple of days.
Yeah?
Fair enough.
Okay.
While they're having this conversation, I am over by the counter and getting a room for Zachariah.
Yep.
And a bottle of wine.
Sorry, and do what?
And a bottle of wine.
Okay, sure. Yeah, he'll take eventually after the wine bottle is handed over and he fill it up a glass. He'll take it with slightly shaky fingers and start gulping it down quite a bit, as if he hasn't drunk anything in many days. A little bit of wine runs down his chin into like this little fairly unkept beard. Oh, this is good. I've not had a taste of wine for a while now. My captors weren't very forthcoming with these things. Thank you. Is there anything else I can do for you? Other than prepare you with some health potions?
Information, I suppose.
Information about what?
Do you know of an entity called the Lightning Lord?
I have heard the name, yes. The title, maybe?
Yeah. We have gotten his attention.
Yes. I'm not quite certain about it. This is not a subject that people speak about readily on this island, but I believe he might be the entity behind what people here call the Black Mists.
Yeah, we've come to the same conclusion.
Yeah. Most everything on this island seems to be pointing towards the Lightning Lord in one fashion or another.
I would not go as far as to say that.
Well, most of the things we've come across personally.
Yeah, your captors was connected to him.
Oh, were they?
Loosely.
That's what they were sacrificing all the people to him.
I have heard of these sacrifices, but...
What were they trying to get out of you? I'm sorry, I know this is...
Yes, no, I understand. Yes. Well, firstly, they wanted to claim my belongings, my staff, my spell book, my laboratory, probably. The elf Demaris was very interested in these things. Luckily, I have locked them away quite well, and I did not tell them the passphrase.
I noticed yeah, that was... I laugh a little bit thinking about Xander zapping himself.
You have seen the basement then, and the door?
It's quite impressive.
And one of my better works?
Frustrating, honestly, if I'm being completely truthful, but...
Well, it was intended to not open for anyone but me.
You know, you did good work.
Yes.
But I imagine that there was more than just a handful of... I apologize for using the word trinkets, but...
No, that is fine. Well, I mean, I was never particularly gifted in the creation of magical items. The ones that I did create were, well, useful, but they took me a while. No, the main thing they were after was information. Demaris, he had heard of the places of power. I didn't know where. He must have done his own research. And somehow he knew that I knew how to reach one of them. And that is what he was mostly interested in.
Places of power?
Yes.
Sorry, before he goes any further, I'm gonna like under the table, like I'm gonna pull the ring off for now, and just pocket it.
As you do, you hear Demaris' voice in your head and say, "It is not quite so easy, young human.
Just have to try."
Well, the places of power, without going into too much esoteric detail, have you heard of ley lines? Are you familiar with the term?
Quite.
Yes, well, ley lines run across the whole world, and where they meet, where several of them meet, the mystical energies, they transcend the ley lines themselves. They seep into the surrounding area. Sometimes they are focused or gathered, I suppose, into knots of mystical energy that can be claimed by anyone with the necessary, well, skill and knowledge.
Is one such cluster in Hunger's Forest?
There was once, I believe, but that was long before my time. I think it was depleted during the War of the Giants. However, I know of 2 others, at least, and I suspect I might know of a 3rd, but I was never quite able to confirm. One of them, the one Demaris was interested in mostly, is on the island of Bloodcliff, underneath an old ruin.
Is it within the pirate's stronghold itself, or is it?
No, there is an old ruin on the southwestern tip of the island. It was a fortress long time ago. I believe it has been abandoned at least 100 years or so ago. It is now claimed by winged beasts, harpies, as their lair, I suppose. But they have not discovered, or at least they do not know how to use it, I presume. This place of power is deep underground, under the in caverns under this ruin. It is guarded by traps and mystical, well, barriers. I have spent a while there when I was younger. I know of ways to pass these, well, these hindrances.
Once you gain access, would you just want to use it as a focal point for some, like a specific ritual, or is it just an enhancement to?
It is more than that. It is someone who is familiar with the workings of the arcane can draw the power of these knots into themselves, therefore strengthening their mystical powers. However, it is dangerous, something that Demaris never was interested in hearing. I gave him the warning, and I explained the ley lines. They must not be simply depleted or weakened. There are several theories what could happen, but the consequences could be devastating to the world itself, reality unraveling and such, or the borders between worlds breaking down in places. But he was not interested in my warnings. The ramblings of an old man close to death. Someone of my skill could have easily harnessed these powers to a more profitable means.
Oh, I'm sure you had everything fully under control, Great Wise One.
Not quite, sadly enough. But anyway, I'm afraid this is not something I can simply reveal even to you, my liberators. These secrets are dangerous.
In the references to the lightning lore that you found, did any of those coincide or overlap with these ley lines, these focal points?
I'm sorry? Say again?
Sorry.
He was sipping wine.
In the references to the lightning lore that you found or know of, did any of them coincide with like mentions of the ley lines of these focal points? Is there any relationship that you?
No, I do not think so. No, I mean, it is not impossible, but it would not. I would not think so. No, this lightning lord is an external power, I believe. It has, well, unnatural by all means. I believe it is some sort of demonic influence, in fact, from if I could tell.
We believe it is a surviving giant.
I find that very unlikely.
We have confirmation from a surviving giant.
You've spoken to the Forest King?
Yes.
Huh. He is not a particularly talkative person.
We kind of sort of noticed that, yes.
He's a little stoic, to say the least.
No, he is the last of the giants.
Does the name Aladar ring any bells?
It seems familiar. I'm not quite sure.
Is there anywhere in your notes where that name might?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
I would have to look them up. You have them here?
I have what I was able to bring with me from your tower. Yes.
I can look it up. Maybe tomorrow though, unless it is very urgent.
Yes, of course.
I believe that the night of switching off the old brain is in order.
You should get very, very drunk, sir.
About your hand, can healing potions fix those?
There would be quite a lot of them that need to be used. Bones are not as easily knit as muscle and skin.
Back on the mainland, you can break fingers to put them right again.
Yes.
If they are healed improperly.
Yes, I am aware of that.
Yes.
And I have already gone through that.
Yes, I assume so.
Oh. So, they will, well, hopefully, I don't think I will ever be quite as dexterous as I was once, but these old hands, they wouldn't have really been able to function for that much longer anyway.
Yeah.
Well then, yes, I'm
going to get you another bottle of wine, if you'd like.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Very well. I get up. Before I go to the counter, I go to Hadley, who's probably...
Hadley's actually in a different tavern. He's like...
God damn it, Hadley, the one time
He's staying in a slightly less expensive tavern. This is a fairly expensive place.
Right.
So yeah, he's staying he's like maybe 200 yards down the road or so, not like super far away, but like a couple minutes.
There hasn't been any sign of the half-elf while we've been talking.
You've been keeping an eye? Okay. Give me a perception check real quick. Now, as the sun is going down, more and more people keep streaming in, so it's not quite as easy to keep an eye on everyone at the same time. This is a fairly a 5.
Okay, apparently I got very interested in the conversation.
Yeah, seems like it. Yes, indeed. So there's just you have not noticed anyone. Like
me
that.
being a very alert person, would I notice someone just looking at us?
What is your passive perception?
Very high.
Mine's
I have
18.
the alert feat, so I +5 plus what is passive perception? You can't. 14.
It's
So,
10 plus your perception.
19. 19 is my passive perception.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay. You would have, yes, with a 19, that would have definitely noticed that there is a sort of bearded fella that's sitting not far away, maybe like two tables down, that was watching you for a while, not like staring at you all the time, but like looking in your direction quite a lot.
I'm gonna tap Silas on the shoulder and just start heading over to him.
Fella is by no means a half-elf, though. He's a very burly, white-shouldered, black-bearded, short-haired fella in his maybe mid-50s or so.
Yeah, it's like I'm about to like head out the door, and like I see that, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll stick around for a minute.
I'm just gonna look at them go and then just go, no, you know what? No, the last time, no, I'm just staying here.
Yeah. While they're like leaving there, Zechariah just keeps drinking wine, leans over to you and says, "You're a quiet one, aren't you?"
Yes.
That's fair.
And you know, it's not really my field.
Your field? What do you?
I mean, you know, the wizard magic.
Right.
It's not my area of expertise.
Well, fair enough. It's better to not speak too much about things that one is unfamiliar with. Yes, there are too many fools in this world who blabber on and on and on about things they have no idea about. So yes, delighted to make someone's acquaintance who is not quite as blabbery. Sort of.
She laughs and probably has a drink too.
And he leans back and just like, he seems to be just taking in sort of the area, the people like laughing and drinking and talking to each other. And he seems to quite enjoy it. Although there's every now and then there's like a shadow crossing his features as maybe a little bit of pain flares up or some bad memory or something. Anyway, Kalyphos and Silas walk over to this black-bearded fella who's sort of leaning against, his chair is pushed back a bit and he's leaning against the wall right next to one of the exterior windows. He looks up as he sees you coming over. Can I help you, fellas?
Yes, I couldn't help but spot you staring at us the whole time we were here.
Aye, sorry, it wasn't meant to be quite so direct. There was a fella here that paid me to keep an eye on things and tell him if you showed up.
Was it a half-elven fellow?
Aye.
Well, can you contact him then? Because we'd also like to speak to him.
Right.
Yes.
I can do that. He said to contact him about now, actually. I'll probably go get him if you don't mind. Should you all be here?
Yes, we will.
Aye. All right, then. Stands up and mumbling something about easiest coins he's ever made or something like that. Pushing and out into the street.
Okay, well, that was unexpectedly painless.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I also leave.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find Hadley.
Okay. Yeah, you find Hadley
like
drinking,
not jogging, but like speed walking down.
Yep. Yeah, you find Hadley drinking with a bunch of people, drinking a bit of beer. And he doesn't seem drunk or anything, but he seems a little tipsy, maybe.
I come behind, like, hand on the shoulder. Hadley, hi.
Master Silas.
Job for you. Time to earn that coin.
Of course, I didn't expect. Of course, he sort of stands up. Excuse me, friends. I'll be back. Probably. Turns to you, and you walk a bit to the side. Okay. So,
nothing.
Can I help you?
I need you to go down to the temple.
Which temple?
The Palor Morden.
Oh, thank the gods. Yes, of course.
If you can speak to Ignatius directly, that'd be best. But if not, talk to one of his acolytes.
Right. What am I talking about?
We've got Zachariah has returned. He was the wizard that was captured by the pirates.
Oh yes, of course.
His hands are a bit of a mess. They're all not.
Dragon Shard had him. I'm not too surprised.
Bad couple of weeks.
He has
at summer camp.
Does he still have most of his skin?
Well, he's got his skin. He's got that.
Good. That's good.
But yeah, like this is just
right. So anyway, you want to ask the priest to heal him or something?
Yeah. See, ask them if there's anything they can do for him.
Right. Of course. And I'll come back with an answer that they bring me. Give me.
Yeah. Just come back. Let me know. Not get too loudly in front of Zachariah or anything. Don't want to make
right. But I'll find you at the lady.
Yes.
Right. Sorry. Of course. Yeah. I'll be right there. Just give me half an hour or so. Yeah. Of course. He just drinks out the beer, puts the mug down, and hurries out.
Don't trip.
Take it straight.
And back to the red lady. Get a bottle of wine from the counter and bring it back to Zachariah.
Okay.
Kalyphos is just sort of sitting down by the table, looking very confused about having an experience. Someone who didn't want to kill him.
About 15 or so minutes later, a figure arrives at your desk. A half-elven gentleman. I mean, it's always hard to know exactly how old half-elves are, but this one's probably a little older already. Not like old by any means, but definitely older than like probably a couple decades for sure. He has shoulder-length brown hair and is dressed fairly finely, not super ostentatiously, but definitely like someone who has a decent bit of money. And you do recognize him. This is the innkeeper of the Dancing Fiddler from Wandermere. You've talked to him a couple times, if you recall. Not in any great detail, but he gives a small bow and runs a finger across his chin and says, finally, I wasn't sure if you would return. I was debating with myself whether I should leave.
Well, we're here now, so...
Yes, he looks at Zechariah, who's already a little drunk, and sort of just looking around and drinking more wine every minute. I believe I have something to talk about that is best suited to talk about in a bit more of a private setting. I'm sure this place has a little, like a back room or something we could rent for a bit.
Yes, they do. Yes, I'll get on that.
He looks at the three of you and says, no, I'll take care of it, please.
Okay.
But I believe there was another man with you?
Yeah. He won't be here.
I see.
He won't be with us ever, actually.
Oh, that is my condolences. I'm sorry to hear that. He seemed a nice fellow. And this gentleman here is...
he won't be with us. He's just a friend for right now.
All right. Well, I'll organize the back room. Just give me a moment. And he walks over, talks to one of the serving girls. You see a couple coins switching hands. He comes back and says, the room's ready, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Carga,
I'll tell...
Yeah, I'm tagging along.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll tell Zachariah before I leave. It's like, if a awkward fellow named Hadley comes in looking for us, tell him just have a seat and just hang out until we're done.
How will I know?
We'll see. Well, if you see him, don't worry about it. He'll be asking for us. So
right. It looks like he couldn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, like the Karaya is just
Can't blame him.
at the moment. Okay, so you come into like a smallish back room with a table of about 6 chairs around, like a chair, a sofa on the side, and one of the serving girls basically like puts a bottle of wine and maybe a bit of beer onto the table, and Erlothan sits down, gives you a nod, and you can still sort of hear in the background a bit the sounds of the tavern, but they are definitely quieter than they were a moment ago in the common room, obviously. He looks at you and says, "I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure how to begin this. You see, I've been hearing rumors about what you've been doing on the island. And I think we might be able to help each other."
How come?
Why don't I like the sound of this?
Give me a quick log back, Kevin.
Okay.
In what way?
Well, you see, I've heard that you've been walking around the island getting rid of problems. The Beast of Our Lake, that you seem to have been tackling the pirates and the goblins of the forest and such.
Yes.
As well. You're probably aware of the Black Mists.
Yes.
It's hard not to be.
Yes, well, it is not a thing that people like to speak about in this island.
We've noticed.
Yes, well. I think the Black Mist's a big problem, and I think you might be able to deal with, well, take care of it, I suppose.
Yes, we're listening.
You see, I know something about the Black Mist that others people don't. I know who's behind it and where he is to be found.
Yeah.
So this deal you propose, is it you tell us what you know, we go kill the guy, or something else?
That is about, yes, what I was talking about. But, I mean, we can speak about more details, maybe, if you...
Just checking that there won't be any, you know...
No, I mean, I have been living on this island for a while now, and I would like it to see it restored to a semblance of safety. This has been growing more and more dangerous with the passing years. And I think you have proven that you might be the ones to do it. Tell me, what do you know about the Black Mists?
That it is summoned by an entity called the Lightning Lord.
Oh, so you know?
Yes.
I see. Forgive me. That comes as a surprise to me. I did not expect you to have this information. Do you know where to find it?
The Titan.
Oh. Well, it looks like I made the whole trip for nothing then.
Sorry to say, yes.
Even so, you are one of the first people we've met who actually knows about the Lightning Lord.
And cares enough to do something about it. That is
Yes.
very much appreciated.
I am not much of a fighter myself. I am an innkeeper. I mean, I'm afraid I would not be much of a help for you in a fight, but I do know that, well, I do know the location of this. But if you already know...
Do you know a more specific location? Because, I mean, granted, we know the Titan is fairly large.
It's a big mountain.
Yeah.
Yes, well, no, it is not on the Titan, technically, I suppose. It is above it, you see?
Oh.
You see this
air?
Yes, well, more specifically, a cloud. I know it sounds weird, but that is how it is.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at utter disbelief. I'm laughing because it's just so fucking.
OCD, it just occurred to me that this guy's a storm giant.
my father saw it with his own eyes. You see, on top of the Titan, there is a castle in the sky.
I was wondering where he was staying.
Yes, that is his fortress, home, or whatever you want to call it. This creature.
Right.
I'm very happy to have this information that might have been awkward otherwise.
Yeah, we
climbing
did not know
to the top
that.
of a mountain and finding a castle above it.
Yes. Well, I'm not quite sure how to reach this castle. It is.
That was about to be my next question.
It is quite high, several hundred feet over the peak of the Titan itself, and the Titan itself is quite a dangerous area. There's all kinds of creatures going on there.
Did your father tell you any more specific information about what he saw?
Yes, he saw. He said he saw, well, this castle, and he saw a tall figure, a figure that could change the weather. With it could create storms, and lightning, and the black mist.
I look at Kalyphos and Karga, and like trying to hold back a grin. It's like I just got probably a really bad idea.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna ask E-name. What's his name? Elefon. Am I remembering correctly that there are griffins on this island somewhere?
Griffins?
Griffins? No. No. That's what it was. We were suspecting that it might be griffins in the blacklist.
Well, there are griffins, but I'm afraid they would be not very helpful in this endeavor. Quite the opposite, in fact.
Like I said, it was a bad idea. It was a fun one. Short-lived as it was.
Well, I might be able to lead you up to the top of the Titan. My father, you see, he was very clear to leave me specific instructions and forced me to learn them in case it was ever necessary. So far, this is not something I shared with anyone.
I guess detect thoughts.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get like surface level read on them.
You are aware that like casting is not something that just happens without.
Can I do a sleight of hand to?
Sure, if you want to.
I'm gonna roll a 16 and add 4 to that.
Okay, that works. Also log out real quick.
Okay, so I kill a 20.
Yeah. So that's what did you say? Did you have in total?
20.
20 in total. Okay. Yeah. So you like under the table, you form the specific gestures, and with a whisper while he's looking at Kalyphos, you shoot out the spell, and you immediately. The first impression you get is this man, this half-elf, is a very multi-layered creature. You sense that there's a lot going on in his head at this moment. His surface thoughts are basically something along the lines of don't draw too much attention or something along those lines.
Sorry. I'm just gonna. I guess I'm gonna continue listening for a moment. And he was describing. I think he was describing.
Yeah. So he basically said, so far I did not manage to find anyone who I thought would be actually willing and capable to act upon this information. And I did not want to draw attention to myself. The black mist can come for Wandermere as well. And as I said before, I am not much of a fighter.
You said your father came upon this cloud castle of sorts?
Yes. My father was a skilled man, a hunter in some ways, I suppose.
How do you encounter something like that? I mean, like, is was he atop the Titan?
Yes, he was roaming far and wide on the island. It was in his nature, I suppose. His kind is always a little strange.
Am I getting any like contradictory pings off my detect thoughts?
Yeah, you're pretty sure that's a lie. Whatever he's just talking about at the moment is this is some sort of tale that he is spinning. So you see, his nature is not like ours. He came from a different realm.
Okay. I'm sorry?
They call it the Feywild.
Wait, I'm sorry. Your father came from the Feywild?
Yes. Okay. My mother was human.
Okay. Okay.
Your father wasn't a dryad, was he?
No, he was not a dryad. I'm not certain if the dryads can
well, maybe reproduce demon. I don't know.
No, his kind was called the Eladrin.
I'm gonna, I guess, nudge Kalyphos and would you mind getting the door?
Sorry, what?
Just watch the door for a moment. I'm gonna push in deeper on detect thoughts.
Okay, that's saving throw, is that again?
That's I forget. It was intelligence or is it wisdom? It's wisdom.
Where the fuck?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Yes, correct. That is a fail actually.
Okay.
Let's see. You probe deeper. You get into. Okay, so. Let's see. You gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, something that looms large in its mind. Okay. So what you get is this creature, well, human or whatever it is, half elf, I suppose, if that is what he is spinning a lot of plates at the moment. Let's put it that way. So you get the sense that most of the stuff that he has told you is probably at least half untruth. He is very calculating. He's calm, but he is a little worried about you basically believing him. And something large that looms in his mind is, it seems like there's someone who will punish him if he doesn't do this properly. There's a little bit of a fear in the back of his head, and his eyes go wide as you probe deeper, and he leaps out of the chair backwards into a room.
Kalyphos door.
What are you doing to me? What is the meaning of this? Get out of my head.
You know, I apologize, but it's hard not to be extremely paranoid lately. Are you working with him?
What? What are you talking about? No, I'm not working with him.
Does that mean...
Why would I reveal where he is if I was working with him?
Well, I mean, I have no idea what's going on,
in.
but he does want to kill us. So.
Yeah. We kind of have an open invitation from him as it stands. Is he lying? Can I feel that?
No, you don't think he's lying.
Okay. All right.
Well, your spell does run out.
Do I? Sorry.
Your spell is starting to run out. It's only a minute after.
Okay. In that last, or over the course of these last few seconds that I have it, like, do I feel like any ill intent, any like,
not
malice or anything?
If there is one, it's not like very strong or directed towards you. You're not like, you don't sense any like direct hatred or something.
Okay. Look, I'm getting the sense that you're not here to necessarily betray us. I hope not.
I am not here to betray you. I'm here to give you information so you can take care of a problem.
Okay. I'm going to need you to be a little more open and honest. Because right now, I know you're lying to us, at least in part. And so going forward and acting on this information would be monumentally stupid if I don't fully trust where it's coming from.
Well, what I can tell you is that there are many on this island that would be more than glad to have this creature slain, and you're the only ones who can do it, apparently.
Okay, are we talking like some sort of shadow cabal, some sort of underground society?
He has connections with the Feywild. Perhaps he has connections with the Western Timberland.
Well, I have been there once or twice. That is correct. Listen, the information that I have given you is all truth. I don't know what you think that you know or sensed or something, but I assure you, I'm not trying to draw you into a trap or anything like that. If the Lightning Lord wanted to strike against you, he could do so. Especially if you have an invitation. I would not recommend following that invitation, by the way. That's certain death, basically.
We're looking for ways around it, believe me.
Yes.
This sounds like it might be one.
Yes,
but like I said,
if he expects you in a specific place, you could attack him unexpectedly before that.
I'm hesitant to ask for like, I'm not going to ask for like, give you the name of your boss necessarily, but I need to know more about who you're working with, what's going on, why do you have a vested interest in this beyond just being a citizen of Revea?
Everyone on this island has a vested interest with having the Lightning Lord gone. He would kill us all if he wanted to. He eventually will, probably.
Okay, let me rephrase again. Why are you in a position to know this or care? Or like, why does an innkeeper in Wandermere know the way up to the Titan 2?
I am not just an innkeeper. I have connections to many places. And I've been on this island for a while, as I have said before. I know people. And some of these people, they want the Lightning Lord gone. So they have empowered me to talk to you on their behalf. And hopefully we can come to some sort of agreement. We all need each other, we have a common enemy. An enemy that would destroy or enslave us all, if he could, without a second moment of hesitation.
Say I do trust you to be truthful in this. We still wish to know who.
I am afraid I cannot disclose the identity of my employers. But I assure you that they are nothing you need to worry about, especially with the Lightning Lord present.
Well, I trust him at least. Do any of you?
I don't trust him, but if we're going to go there and be attempted to be killed anyway, it's good that we know it's in the sky.
Yeah.
Do you honestly? I imagine you're telling the truth on this, but I have to ask again. Do you honestly not know the way up into his stronghold?
No, I do not. I mean, there is no way up. There's just the air.
Okay.
I cannot fly, nor do I know of any method of flying. You have magic, don't you?
Sadly, that is one of the blind spots in my repertoire.
Is there anything else your bosses are allowing you to divulge to us that may be of interest?
Well, the Lightning Lord is not alone. He has, let's call it a menagerie. They are creatures that come with the black mists.
Do you know what they are?
All kinds of things. I am not an expert on these things. The beasts that he keeps as pets. Flying creatures. And he also has, I suppose you'd call it an army in a way. He has not used them yet, but it's just a matter of time until he does. They are constructs, things made of stone. They are guarding the Titan. They're guarding the sides of the mountain. At the moment, anyway. I can only assume that they would be the ones that he would have you face if you follow his invitation.
Yeah.
And I do not think you stand a chance. There are dozens of them.
Do you know how the blacklist works?
The robot.
Ah!
Are we rounding off for the night soon?
Yeah. No, next 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, good. Getting a little
Yeah, I know.
drowsy.
About to wrap up.
Sorry, what did you say?
So I take it we're about to wrap up.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. Do you know how the black mist works?
I am not. I have no skill in magic. It is some sort of spell that the Lightning Lord casts. He can change the weather, as I said. That was not a lie.
Spell.
Yes, very powerful magic.
I'm putting that on the list for tomorrow with Sakurai.
So, will you act on our behalf then? On all our behalf?
We will. We were planning on anyways, so.
Good. Well, I was hoping you would say that. I can lead you to the top of the Titan if you want to.
We have a couple of other things we should tend to first.
Of course. Well, when does the Lightning Lord expect you?
By the next full moon, if I remember.
No, by the midpoint between
By the
the full
midpoint,
moon.
so
The new moon.
The new moon. That is in about 10 days, give or take.
yeah.
It's not far off.
Well, then I would suggest if we plan this attack, that it should come at least a day or two before the new moon.
Yeah.
How attuned to the phases of the moon is the Lightning Lord's power, if you know even that?
I know no specifics. He's very powerful, very old,
Okay.
but
Well, currently we are not strong enough to defeat him, so If we attack him now, he'll be dead anyways.
Well, I'm afraid, as I said, I'm not much of a fighter. I cannot help you with that. There might be others. I don't know. I don't think there's anyone in Wondermere.
Yeah. Give us a week, maybe, and we'll move out then.
Well, we can make a meeting, determine a meeting point, a day and the time and the place, and I will be there.
A week
What do you suggest?
A week from now in Wondermere.
In Wondermere, could be possible, I suppose, but we could meet closer to the Titan.
Yeah, that's one too, actually. We plan to be around Wondermere in the Blackmoor.
A week from now in Wondermere, then. What are your plans, if I may ask? Until then,
We wish.
I'm sorry. Like I said, hard not to be paranoid. I guess I believe we are on the same side. I sincerely hope and believe we are on the same side. But
we are definitely. I'm just trying to make sure that you do not make any mistakes.
I think we need to discuss some things before we go full open both ways. Especially with you being as cagey as you're being.
Of course. Well, I mean, I was not the one probing in another's mind.
Well,
some would consider that quite a breach of privacy.
I don't know that I have much of an argument against it. So,
well, so do you wish to have another conversation then within the next day or two, or shall we see each other in Wondermere in a week, as you said?
We'll talk again in Wondermere. I think that's appropriate.
How long does it take to get from Wondermere to the Titan?
Let me
a day or two, a day and a half, probably.
Yeah. I mean, 2 days maybe to be on the safe side.
We would be cutting it pretty close to our actual appointment.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
That's 5
6 days, then.
plus 7, that's 12. So plus 2, yeah. So you'd be getting there pretty much either maybe on the night or maybe the night before if you're quick.
Yeah, 6 days. Let's say 6 days then.
I was gonna say maybe 5.
Well, we say 6 days at the latest, 5 days at the earliest.
Very well.
That's fair.
Very well.
Fair.
So 5 to 6 days for now. The mayor's ship is arriving soon, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's the ship we intended to take back to Wondermere.
Yes, that should bring you there in time, I think. And it will give us 3 to 4 days to act. Very well, then. I hope this works out for all of our sakes. I will go now.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yes.
Try not to use up too much of his strength in the next days or so. You will need it. And he leaves, pushing past Kalyphos.
As the door closes, I assume we're staying inside. So,
sure.
Judging by his reaction, I don't think he's connected to the Fae.
He definitely talks more like he's backed by investors rather than.
See, judging by his reaction to when I said we're going to Blackmoor, he seemed like he wanted to keep us out of Blackmoor.
This is my concern too, that his people are connected to Shadow number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, we have to get rid of the Lightning Lord.
The thing is, yeah, I think the Lightning Lord is worse. So if we kill the Lightning Lord, we'll probably be strong enough to deal with whatever it is that's in Blackmoor.
Let us hope.
Yeah. End session.
All right, that works. Sure.
Yeah.
You guys want to basically retreat to bed?
Yeah.
I think so.
In real life and in roleplay.
Yes. Indeed. And we'll pick up on the next morning. See what the future brings. All right, guys. Well, thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. We'll see you around. Bye-bye. Good night, as always.